33 Burning MCU Questions. We're back on brand. Enough of that Star Wars chit chat. Joining me is a first timer, but a long timer if you watch the live chats. It's the Mama Bear herself.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Doing good. And then we got another Canadian joining, the Jaded Fanboy.
Hey guys.
Hey guys. Already in the live chat is Second Street Marvel, Yellow Spider-Man. First question of 33 is, was that Super Bowl trailer overshadowed? Overshadowed by other movie trailers? Overshadowed by the football game itself? The halftime show? Are the entertainment outlets not talking enough about Multiverse of Madness because it was surrounded by everything else? My short answer is yes, it was overshadowed by everything else.
I love how you refer to it as the Super Bowl trailer, as if there were no other Super Bowl trailers that actually happened during the Super Bowl. No, the only Super Bowl trailer that mattered, by the way, was the
one that everyone knows I'm talking about, the one that I can only be talking about if you read the title below. Yes, it's the MCU. It's this Doctor Strange trailer, of course.
I don't think it was overshadowed because it was just another trailer for another movie for everybody else. So they're football fans. There's like, oh, look, a trailer for a Marvel movie. Okay, what's next? Oh, look, a commercial for a car. It's just another commercial for them.
Okay, then. Mama Bear?
I admit I don't really watch football, so I had to go back and it's the only sport I can't get into. Don't give me that look.
I wasn't. I don't watch the sport either.
No, I was talking to I can talk just about any other sport but football. But I had to go back and watch that particular, the Multiverse trailer. And I've heard a lot more about the halftime show than I have people talking about the trailer. So I don't think it really did much overshadowing.
Now, some of that has to do with the circles that we're in. If we're all about, the entertainment, music stuff, and hip hop are the accounts that we follow, sure, that's gonna play a factor in it. We got the Widow. Ashley, are you in there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm gonna mute myself for 1 second, though. Okay.
I'll get back to you then. Yellow Spider-Man says something in the live chat. She'll need some sleep or just woke up. Actually, you need to stop being so invasive and realizing things. 2. Best moment of Multiverse of Madness is trailer. For me, of course, it's got to be hearing the voice of Patrick Stewart and wondering what the heck is happening, because the X-Men movies are not the same universe that we've been watching. And how does this cross over? That was the best moment.
Mm-hmm.
Jaded Fanboy has a really critical video on his channel where he's completely eviscerating the decisions that they made in the trailer, because he goes, movie trailers are for casuals who are maybe not going to go see the films. You guys are already going to see the film, so you're breaking down the Illuminati and all the chairs. You can watch him talk about it himself, but he was right.
I have two favorite scenes in that trailer.
Hello.
I have two favorite scenes in that trailer. Seeing Yaga, the giant eye creature with the tentacles.
Of course, it's called Yagat. Okay.
I was shocked that they were even incorporating that character, which was cool. But the other favorite part for me was there was that character that was glowing and we couldn't identify the character. That was my other favorite part, simply because we couldn't identify it. So it's like, I don't know if it's Captain Marvel. I don't know if it's the Human Torch. I don't know if it's Blue Marvel. I don't know if it's Marvel.
Nova, or Iron Man.
Nova. I don't know if it, and it's the fact that and even when somebody actually did an 8K screenshot of it, and you still couldn't identify who it was. And that was, to me, the best part is hey, there's a character. We're not telling you who it is. Tough. So I did like those two scenes.
What's going on, Theo? What's up? What's happening? What's percolating? What's I don't know your intro, but hey, Theo. Yellow Spider-Man says, ha ha ha. Hey, Adam's in the building. Best part was Patrick Stewart's voice. Of course, see? Oh,
it could have been Shuma. I you know what? Yellow Spider-Man, now you got me confused. It could either be Shuma Gorath or it could be Yoga. My old school Doctor Strange trivia isn't that good. So like, you could be right and I could be wrong.
Mama Bear, the best moment for the trailer?
I will go old school with this one, and apparently agreeing with the chat on Patrick Stewart. Just hearing that voice alone is that's that indication that we've been waiting for a while now, that they're finally going to integrate X-Men into the MCU. And what a better way to do it than with Patrick Stewart.
It was the Patrick Stewart voice for me. Hello to Danny from Comic Chat. Are you here?
What's up?
Hello, Danny. You got crazy background noise. Is there something you can do about that?
Probably not. 'Cause I'm in my car.
Okay, cool. Just mute yourself when you're not answering the questions.
All right, that'll work.
You're at work right now? Oh, you said
I
that'll
got
work.
I got called out, but you invited me. I like to try and jump on shows with people who invite me.
Yeah.
Support.
Thank you.
I'll be muted until you ask me a direct question.
I'll ask you a direct question right now. What was the best moment of the Multiverse of Madness trailer?
Oh man, probably the interaction with the evil Doctor Strange.
Okay.
It ties into the what if, and I want to see is it going to be similar to that? Is that going to make it canon? So I want to see the fight between those two. I think that's going to be pretty good.
Honestly, the what if stuff was something I thought was just a one and done. We'll do this what if series. It won't ever mix, but seeing him show up does kind of make me want to, care more about the what if stuff. Maybe even watch the episode again.
I think we're definitely going to see a second season of What If. And I'm down with that. I didn't hate it.
X-Men is coming to the MCU, says Jay. The zombified Doctor Strange with his multiple arms at the end. I know the glowing figure flying is not Carol Danvers. I've heard it's Maria Rambeau variant of Captain Marvel. You could be anyone. That's the thing. That's what makes it interesting. And Danny?
What's up? What's up, Pat? Hello?
We hear you.
I was saying, what's up, Mads?
Hey, Danny, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
I'm having some more background issues, so.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna cut it off. Like I said, whenever you're not talking to me, but I'll be listening. Sorry for that.
No problem. Let's ask Ashley now. What's the best Multiverse of Madness moment in the trailer?
So many. If I had to pick one, probably Zombie Strange, Defender Strange at the end. I really thought that just looks cool, but like all of it looks great. Like everything, I can't really, it's hard for me to pick out one thing, but I guess that would be the one.
You see, I like the way she answered. There's so many. It's true Marvel fan. What Marvel character with no superpowers, okay? So we can't just say, oh, the Hulk. Who would be the best in NBA Slam Dunk Contest? A 3-point shootout, we know that goes to Hawkeye, right?
But, yeah, that's exactly what I think he could jump too, though. So
we'd still give it to Hawkeye?
Yeah, I mean, like he's got like the agility. Yeah, it's still goes
No, we saw Falcon. Falcon did a backflip, remember?
Are we tied Daredevil
with wings, right?
No, in his training montage.
Yeah, but I don't think he's as agile as Hawkeye.
He's still got some height on Hawkeye. Who are the tall characters in Marvel? Doctor Strange
I don't
is tall,
think so. I think that they're the same height.
Oh,
really?
I know.
I have to look it up.
Stiltman would win the slam dunk contest.
We're talking about active in the MCU.
Oh, you just going into the comic book lore and creating. No, they got to be on film.
It says what Marvel character. It doesn't say what MCU character.
You're right, but then again, my stream is called MCU. You know this. Come on now. It's not the first time on this show. I would say maybe Nick Fury when he was younger. He's tall-ish.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like just off like their abilities without being superhuman. I think that Hawkeye's abilities is, he could do that.
I'm not gonna disagree. I know he could dunk. He can do amazing things. He can dunk a basketball, but would he win the contest? Falcon is such a creative power. He's thinking of unique ways to shoot, to attack, and stuff. So that's why I'm gonna go with Falcon.
Everybody's always sleeping on Hawkeye. I tell you, those moves.
Mama Bear, you're gonna go with Hawkeye. You're gonna go with Falcon. You're gonna choose one of your own.
I'm gonna go with Falcon. I'm just on the factor of. I think of the two of them, he's the one to more likely have more practice. Because Hawkeye did grow up in the circus. If they go true to the canon, to the
not this Hawkeye. He grew up in a car, homeless, and then in foster care.
They say that in a movie?
Well, you didn't see the deleted scene that was absolutely amazing? You need to look. Gosh, you need to see that. Deleted scenes don't count. Yes, because it's still canon. It's still canon to his character. Yes, it's still canon. They released the deleted scenes for a reason.
I completely count the deleted scenes from Infinity Gauntlet, where Bruce and Hulk make peace with each other. So yes, it counts.
You're outnumbered. How about you, Danny?
Would Groot count as having superpowers?
I don't know.
No, it was the inner conflict. They had that inner monologue with each other, and then they cut that, and that's what Mads is talking about. Which we don't see in that deleted scene explains how he fuses, Bruce Banner with Hulk. What we get in Endgame. That's the scene that she's talking about.
What's the deleted scene called? Like, is it on YouTube? Because I haven't even seen it.
Which one? The Hawkeye one or the one Mads is talking about? I'll send you a link for it.
Thank you. That'd be cool.
I'll put it in the private chat. Yeah, it's real. Like it made everybody mad. They were like, and they cut this because it's a really good scene.
I think Winter Soldier is enhanced, so I wouldn't.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he doesn't count.
And Spider-Man
also.
Would
Groot count as having a superpower? Because he's an alien.
But he was tested on. He was definitely tested on, so it's not like he's a natural, thing.
I mean, granted, his arms can extend, but that's a superpower or an alien.
Groot is
technical here. I'm trying to skirt the rules here.
Yeah, Groot is a talking tree. I really don't think that counts.
Let's go to Danny. Danny, you got a sports show on your channel, Comic Chat, right? So I want to hear what your opinion is on this one. Who wins the slam dunk?
Yeah, that's the deleted scene of this superhero called I Don't Give a Shit, Man. Y'all see that one?
Nope.
Oh my gosh, Danny.
I don't give a shit. I'm fucking with you. Any member, but I'm going to say Okoye of the Dojo Elijah will win the slam dunk.
Okay. And she can't use her spear to assist her in the air.
No, them sisters are bad. So I think they got the agility to do that.
Yeah. I like that. I like the explanation. I can see it happening. Will never doubt a Wakandan. How about this one, Danny? How did those frozen people in WandaVision survive? All of those Westview residents, the frozen Westview residents of that city that Wanda had, under her spell. How did they survive without no food or water or anything?
I'm sure they have food and water. We just didn't see it on camera. Okay. There's no way that she don't have that kind of power to sustain life. I don't think. I could be wrong. I just think that she had their mind come over, but she still provided them with necessary things they had to do to survive, like water, food, that kind of stuff. I just think that she just had them under her spell. We saw scenes of them eating at different events. So.
Okay, I'm going to co-sign that answer. I'm going to say we might have just saw them frozen in that Halloween episode, but it doesn't mean they were always stuck in place. There was moments where she was caring for them. I'm going to co-sign Danny's answer. How about you, Jaded Fanboy?
Easy. The writers didn't think that far ahead. That's why they forgot about it. It's like, oh, shoot. Yeah, don't worry about it. Nobody will notice. Let's just keep going.
The rest
of the show.
Yep. Typical Jaded Fanboy answer. Mama Bear, how did the frozen people in WandaVision survive?
You know what? I love Danny's explanation. Just and large with a large part because I really hope that they didn't do exactly what Jaded Fanboy saying. Yeah, nobody will notice. Nobody will notice. Which they probably did. Are you not paying attention to comic book nerds? Because this is what we've been doing since it came out, is debating the minutia.
Ashley?
I think that if you I've seen each episode so many times. If you pay attention, it's not that those people are stuck in those spots. They move a lot slower, so it takes them a long time. It's like there's a glitch in the matrix there. They're stuck in spots longer because they're farther away from the hex. It's not that they're frozen in those moments for the duration of the show. It's just it takes them longer to complete task as it would the people who are closer to Wanda within that hex.
Okay. Joining the channel is Trinity from the YouTube channel Second Street Marvel.
What's up? How
What's
y'all
up?
doing?
It's fitting that you come in here the moment I ask a WandaVision question, because we were doing that show over on your channel, reviewing it week by week. So the question is, how did hey, there he is. Look at that. He's looking fresh with the Avengers Endgame.
I'm ready.
The question was about WandaVision. How did she keep those people frozen and with surviving?
Well, they wouldn't have to survive. The WandaVision only took place over a matter of a few days. When Monica got sent out there, what's his name?
Agent Wu.
No, the guy who sent her out there. The guy we didn't like.
Director Hayward.
Director Hayward.
Yeah.
When he sent her out there, he said that it was just a missing persons case. And then even Randall Park's character, he came in and even said the guy just went missing. He had just got there. And then you flash to when S.H.I.E.L.D. actually showed up. It said 24 hours later. And then the rest of it only took place over a matter of maybe another day or so. So really, these people were only going and trapped inside of Westview for, I don't know, I mean, less than a week, if you ask me. It might, you know what? I'll actually give you that it could have been maybe a little over a week, maybe about a week and a half, because Director Hayward said 9 days ago Wanda came in and basically took the vision from us. And then after that, and that was at the point when they were having the little meeting, and they had it all wrapped up within the next couple of days. So we're talking about, like I said, maybe 2 weeks tops. And, you could fast. I've fasted myself, not just drinking water for, a few days, up to a week. And you can do certainly a lot longer than that. Now, the thing is these people probably didn't even really have water. I mean, it really only takes a little bit every now and again. But even like Ashley was just saying too, is they had, some of them were moving in slow motion. At other points, they were kind of prisoners in their home as well. Because she, what's her name said towards the end of the series, like, oh, my kids, they just, like, I just want to give them a hug and just everything. So basically, they were kind of trapped wherever they were. So I don't know. I mean, I think
a week
a little
though.
bit at a time.
Are we saying that she just had them hold it in, like they didn't pee or poo themselves?
Well, I mean, that's hard to say. When look,
but I like your answer though, because you're minimizing the severity of it. I'm making it seem like they were frozen in time. You're like, yeah, it was a week at most. Yeah. Yeah,
well, maybe 2 weeks. We'll give them 2 weeks at most. But the thing is, when you're fasting, you're not only drinking water. Chances are you're only urinating. You're not going to be pooping, because you're not eating. You're not taking anything in, so you have nothing to poop out. But I mean, ultimately, I think they had a little bit of freedom. She was providing enough, or maybe they were just being sustained and fed through magic. And I would say that's probably about how they survived. But they weren't going too long, and not to and like you're saying, not to minimize what Wanda was doing. She held everybody their prisoner and kind of had them starving and everything,
But for
like
some
of the
reason,
worst people in the world have done.
And some people say that that's their favorite series. Some people who are here right now. Question number 5, Trinity.
It is my favorite. It doesn't mean that she was a hero.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a great show. Sorry.
It's the best of definitely the best of the Marvel series.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't worry. If apologizing for liking that show is appropriate, don't worry.
It's not appropriate. you should apologize for not liking it because I'm sorry it was too complicated that your little brain cannot understand it.
Oh,
Complicated. Complicated.
does Captain America have a
Complicated
least?
like women are complicated.
He just had to go there. Does Cap have a least favorite state? United States,
Ooh.
there's 50 states. Let's see here. We can't. He's not too fond of Alaska. He's like, what, that thing over there?
Might bring back memories.
Yes.
You'll go to Redline. You'll go there, and it's like, oh, geez, flashbacks, PTSD. It's like,
Mm-hmm. So we're going with Alaska, aren't we?
I'd say Alaska. Yeah.
I don't know. Least favorite state. That's it. I'm not sure that he would have one because he don't see things like that. That's not how Captain America rolls.
Okay, so he doesn't have a least favorite state.
Well, if you think about after what happened with Shield, I'd say he's not really happy with Washington D.C.
Well, that's in Jersey actually, like the headquarters.
Yeah, that's statists. That's statists, not states.
Oh, okay. I'm not much on.
I would say Mississippi. Not very tolerant, people maybe.
No, but remember how he
There you
wasn't
go.
ready for a woman with a belly button ring? Remember he had a line like that? I think
Yeah,
Cap is too tolerant either.
I know, but I
Yeah.
don't think that he's.
Got you, didn't I?
No, I mean, I think that having a belly
I'm there
button
with
and
him
being
on that.
racist is like not the same,
Oh, he's from the 40s. I don't know. He needed to catch
Nah,
up on a
he
couple of
wasn't.
things.
He was really cool. He was cool with people. When he came back, he's Captain America. You know what I'm saying?
What's going on, Rhea? What's going on, Spine Ticks? What's going on, everyone who's in the chat right now? Neighbor to the North. WandaVision was my favorite series so far. Fight me. Oh, my God.
Anytime,
Exactly.
any place.
Yes.
Anytime, any place.
I'll fight you and you'll lose.
No, I won't.
There's been many people that have, and you'll just be on that list too, Jaded.
Mama Bear, does Cap have a least favorite state?
I'm going to justify this, and I'm so sorry, Trinity. I gotta go with California, largely because he hated being that dancing showboy monkey that they had originally painted him out as, as the face of the war and all of that jazz. He hated all of that showboating stuff.
I think I got the answer.
Theater is
His
more New
least
York
favorite
style.
state-
That is the answer.
But that was. But he was
At the
also-
time, that was more Hollywood, though.
But he was also in those smaller southern Dixie states doing the tour too. That's where he was the most popular.
And
With
also,
the-
I'm not Californian anyway. I'm not from this piece of shit state. I just live here.
Question
Reminder?
number 6.
Hold on. His
Yeah.
least favorite state was
Yeah.
a state of suspended animation. That was
That
his
is-
least favorite.
Beautiful, Jaded.
I love
Great.
because I can't say that wasn't the question. He totally answered that question. right there. Is Tony Stark's goatee essential to the character? We always talk about skin color and all that stuff. No, I'm talking about goatees now. Okay. I remember a time where James Bond was recasted to Daniel Craig, and it was a blonde Bond, and that was the thing. And people were acting like this is too much of a change. So
Yeah.
goatee for Tony Stark. I'm gonna go ahead and say yes. It is something that Tony Stark should have in his first movie, his second movie. If he does shave it off or something, it could be for some weird, I don't know, alternate, bizarro thing. But for the majority of that movie, Tony Stark has a goatee.
The evil Tony Stark doesn't have a goatee as opposed to
Right.
having.
Right.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think it's absolutely essential. I mean, we even seen what was it in the I can't remember which one it was in, but they showed the little highlight reel on the news and everything, and you even seen the people getting all shaved up and everything like Tony Stark. And then even in Iron Man 3, his biggest fan, he modeled his whole look after you.
Yeah.
I'm a bear. We're all saying yes.
Oh, absolutely. It's like you can't have Reed Richards without the
white.
white
yeah.
the white streaks. Yeah, no.
And all of that is
Doctor
for
Strange, yeah.
it's for the artist to, because you draw, obviously. When you're doing that, like, it's hard to put facial features on someone like we all have different faces, higher cheekbones, whatever, different noses and eyes and stuff. It's so much easier to just be like, yeah, goatee. This is something that just makes the guy stand out. Same with like hair colors, which is why Gwen Stacy's blonde and it's why Mary Jane is red, so you guys can tell which one's is different. It's kind of...
To be fair, yeah, I did give Jax a goatee, but there are some things that it's just iconic part of the character when you're translating between artists. And that is one of those things. The Tony Stark goatee is one of those things I would definitely say that's part of the character. Like you can't have why am I drawing a blank on the character? Samuel Jackson.
Nick Fury without the eye patch.
Thank you. You can't have Fury without the eye patch.
That's right. Question
And
7.
And if you get rid of his goatee, how are he and Doctor Strange going to be beard brothers? I mean, come on.
Touche.
Is recast T'Challa too aggressive? This hashtag, it's a movement. It is just a whole bunch of. Ooh, it's pointless. I'm gonna fight.
It's not gonna happen. It's not. No, it's not gonna happen. I'm telling you, as long as Ryan Coogler is in charge of these films, it will not happen. Now, once he's done with his little films. And eventually it might happen, but they're not going to bring in a new T'Challa with Ryan Coogler. It ain't going to happen.
Sure. That's
right.
I don't know who Ryan Coogler is. Why is he important?
He's the director of the Black Panther movies. He had a very close relationship with Chadwick. He's still very hurt by the fact that Chadwick is gone, and he doesn't want a new T'Challa cast in his films out of respect for his friend. I can see it once he's done, but right now it's not happening. I think
it's not happening. I would argue that movies can change. They change movies all the time. The release order of Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness and Spider-Man No Way Home were swapped midway, and so they just made some adjustments. Things can happen. Plus, with what's happening with Letitia Wright, what has already happened, I should say.
Yeah, Winston Duke is going to be the Black Panther.
So, like I'm saying, like change is possible.
But he's not going to be T'Challa. That's what I'm saying. They're going with a new direction with Black Panther, but it's not going to be T'Challa. Not right now. It's not going to happen.
We're going to see T'Challa die in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. You heard it here, folks.
Trinity, do you think the recast T'Challa movement is too aggressive?
No, not at all. Not at all. Does it need to happen? Yeah, I think absolutely. I mean, the character's important. The character himself is important to the MCU, and here's one thing is like people always make this argument too. They recast Rhodey and they recast Incredible Hulk and all this stuff. I guess the Incredible Hulk. I mean, that's one thing, but it was also not in the same universe. But even getting into Rhodey, I mean, he's not the headlining character either. But that even more so makes it why they should, because they need the headlining characters there to build this universe off of. I mean, I just think he's too important to this universe altogether. No, I don't think it's aggressive enough. Okay. I think they should put hashtag release and recast T'Challa cut.
And by the way, when I said what I said, I'm not against it. I just don't see it happening. He's gonna die, but there's not gonna be a new T'Challa.
Nate Moore pretty much Thanos to the idea.
Yeah.
I heard, and I made a video on it.
Yeah.
And Trinity, you have something in your background. You got some background. It's gone now, but you had some fan going in the background.
Oh, I think it was the car.
Oh, all right, my bad. Mama Bear is recast T'Challa. Are you even aware of this hashtag stuff that's going on?
Oh, of course I am.
And is it too aggressive?
Honestly, I want to say yes and no at the same time. And I know, such a Canadian answer, but it is what it is. I understand how important the character is. I mean, for many years, Halloween, that's been one of the number one costumes in my neighborhood. So I see how important he is, even culturally. Unfortunately, I do have to agree with Ashley that it is a moot point because there has been set photos released of there being a memorial carved in the Wakandan dialect in the throne room to T'Challa.
Watch me debunk that right now, because what if this movie takes place in that 5-year gap between when T'Challa snapped away and he's gone? So they believe he's gone. That's what the memorial's for.
They know he's gone.
If this movie happens,
Koya saw
in
him.
that 5-year
She
gap.
didn't get snapped.
Oh,
She didn't get snapped away. She saw him get snapped.
Yeah, so if he's gone, everyone who saw people get snapped, they all believed everyone was dead. They didn't think they were returning. So that's what the memorial would be for.
I don't believe
Oh,
it.
so you think that the Black Panther movie took place during the snap?
Yeah,
Oh, that's an interesting take.
that's
This-
what. Yeah, go ahead, Mama.
Besides, I do find it very interesting that they have been cat. I do find it very interesting that they've been very specific in phrasing that he will not be recast in the 616 universe.
Mhm.
Which means what if stories can happen with him.
Variant, you know.
Variants, what if stories, all of that.
Yeah, I think that once it like Ron Coogler's finished, it might happen. But I know that like from Winston Duke got a significant pay raise. His for specific reasons that he is going to take on the mantle as the Black Panther.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, Black Panther, T'Challa, he's dying in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Wanda is in that citadel on the moon to kill T'Challa. She's going to do it because he brought the council together because he knew from the research they were doing, once he got back to Wakanda after the snap, she's out to kill him.
What's going on in that cyborg brain of yours? You don't want to know.
They're going to expand it more in Black Panther 2. I guarantee it. Done.
I don't know if I believe Wanda's going to do it or if I think it's Namor, but yes, I mean it would make more sense if he died in Multiverse of Madness. So
The 8th question of 33 Burning MCU Questions: has any MCU episode been better than the Mando episode? That would be that 6th episode.
see, that's not even my favorite episode of Mando though. So
Okay, you can take it anywhere you want to. Has any MCU episode been better than your favorite episode of Mando?
I think
Or
episode
a
of 8 of WandaVision came close, but no, it comes close, but no, not to any episode. It comes close just from emotion, the emotional weight and the performances from the actors, but like overall, that's the only one in my opinion that comes close, but it's not even that close. It's really not, a competition.
Yeah.
This is a messed up question because I don't think there is.
There's not. To me, there's not.
There is.
No. The fanboy, how do you feel about this?
To me, it's like you're asking which piece of bread is less moldy. That's
He doesn't like either one.
they all.
Typical answer.
Yeah.
Let's keep Mama Bear. How you feel about this one? Is there any episode from an MCU show that's been are you a Star Wars fan?
I'm a casual at best Star Wars fan. I'm more of a fan of the Star Wars fans. Guys, Trinity will well know because that's actually kind of how we met. I tried very hard to get into the Mandalorian series. I kept falling asleep during it. So.
That's amazing.
That's the right response. That's the right answer.
It's literally my favorite show.
Sorry.
Yeah, but coming to rethinking about it, about that Mando episode. I honestly kind of started thinking about there was that episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier when all the shit went down. When we finally seen John Walker with the serum flip out and all that, you know what?
That's really
that
good
was
episode.
that was probably peak MCU streaming show on Disney Plus.
We had
That's
the Dora
a really good
Milaje.
episode.
That's a solid episode. That might be my favorite of the Marvels.
Yeah.
The finale of the finale of WandaVision was top tier for myself.
I think
That
it was
was
good.
my
I think it was good.
see. The finale episode was my least favorite episode of WandaVision.
Why?
Ashley is just, yeah, why?
I just didn't like a lot of them. Pew pew pew, and it like episode 8 was like so like I felt like it was such a strong episode
Oh,
that
okay.
episode 9
It's
just
just kind of weaker. in
wasn't as
comparison.
yeah. I mean, there were great moments in it. Like I don't hate it. It's just like
No.
my least favorite episode.
When Bucky was relieved of his like trigger words, that like flashback in Wakanda was amazing, and then the blood on the shield was amazing. Yeah, that was a great episode.
When Falcon was actually considered Captain America, I thought was a pretty good episode.
I like any of
Yeah,
those
I-
conversations he had with Isaiah Bradley were amazing too. Like
Okay,
Number
think
9
Bucky going
for
sad.
all you
Before-
rock and
before
roll
we-
heads.
before we jump over to 9, I just want to respond. The real trick when it comes to the end of WandaVision is you go back, watch it on YouTube. There's a bunch of people that have linked it up with the end of Loki,
oh yeah.
and the two do sync up beautifully, and that just changes the whole.
What do you mean they?
I mean, I know the sync up. I know about that, but still, for me, it's not.
Okay, fair enough.
I haven't seen that. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm gonna have to check that out.
I like the season
I need-
finale.
I need a
of
link.
Loki more than
There
I like the
is
finale of WandaVision.
there is a theory that Wanda becoming the Scarlet Witch is what pushed them past the barrier, because you remember how
Oh, okay.
it says we've crossed a line.
Yeah, when he who remains.
When he says we've crossed the threshold.
Right.
He said, "I can't see
Oh,
past
that's
this point
interesting.
here."
There's
If you watch-
even a thunder that happens at the same time. In
Oh,
both.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
That makes
But
sense.
my theory is that he's lying in a lot of the things that he said there. He's telling us lies, guys.
Guys,
He
let's not let me go to
remains
the next
telling
question.
lies. Sorry. Go. Sorry.
Do you listen to Nine Inch Nails? It's a band. Carol Danvers was wearing a T-shirt of them, and I want to know if she even knows who that band is. I'm gonna say no.
No.
She never had time. She was abducted. She just wasn't there. If she has any exposure to Nine Inch Nails, it was on the radio when she was making her way to that place, that bar. She doesn't listen to Nine Inch Nails. No.
No.
Maybe one of her ex-boyfriends did. She just stole one of his shirts. That's about it.
Because that's what she does. That woman, Captain Marvel, is the worst.
She just like she's literally stole the
You know,
clothes.
she
from
just steals
the
other
store,
people's
so-
powers. I mean, she steals other superheroes' powers. Why wouldn't she steal her ex-boyfriend's T-shirt? Come on.
Well, she stole it from a
I
store.
have nothing to prove to you.
Yeah, she stole it from a store. You're right.
And I think that like the type of music that she listened to, like, would have been like Jesse's Girl and stuff like that, because like she was like on Earth in like the 80s, really. So like she was like probably into like, you know, like 80s kind of pop rock stuff, not really into the 90s scene.
80s pop rock.
Yeah.
Was
You
a
know?
Madonna- What, you're saying Carol Danvers was a Madonna fangirl?
Nah, I don't think. I think she liked Journey.
She likes some Gwen
Oh,
Stefani.
God, that's not a better option.
I think she just seems like she would like Journey to me.
I would have pegged her as a New Kids on the Block fan.
I think Nine Inch Nails is trashy enough. She'd listen to him.
Every time I think of New Kids, I think, oh. It's like the dance that they do.
That was late 80s, yeah.
Yeah, don't make me bust a move here.
I will full screen you if you
Please
bust a
do.
move. Come on now.
To help narrow it down, what band best symbolizes having a stick up your ass?
All I heard was "stick up your ass," and that's okay.
What band most closely resembles having a stick up your ass? That would be the type of music Carol Danvers likes.
Mama, wow, I
yeah.
love that.
Hanson was in the 90s. That was past her. So
But that's,
Yeah, that
that's
was
Mbop,
like-
right?
Yeah, that was like
Mbop, yeah,
90.
Do they have a second song? I just know Mbop.
Yeah, they had a whole album. They were nominated for a Grammy.
they have multiple. In fact, one that I will admit is a guilty pleasure is they have a song called Madeline, and that's strictly guilty pleasure because it's even the right spelling of my name.
Oh, really?
It's
Oh, Brie was in Scott. Hello again, friend of a friend. Right, guys. Right. No.
I've never seen it.
Oh. That opens up a lot of possibilities, and the hidden connection is something that the MCU always seems to strive for. Trashy, you crazy Trinity. Question number
I just
10.
did a quick search. I bet her favorite song is "Don't Smile at Me" by Billie Eilish.
Shut up. I hate you. Is Iron Man more associated with Black Sabbath or ACDC? You understand why I'm asking this? Because you know he always had ACDC playing during his scenes, but there is a song called "I Am Iron Man." That song.
Yeah. And they used it at the very end of the movie, in the first one, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Black Sabbath one was the intro into the movie, wasn't it?
And the trailer, yeah.
Yeah.
So who are you associating him with? Or the what's from Wu-Tang Clan? I know there was an Iron Man song there too.
Yeah. I can't remember. I think it's the ACDC. I mean, really.
I think so too.
Doesn't he just play it the one time when they're about to fight Loki?
Yeah, I remember how he kind of hijacks it. But in Iron Man 2, during his entrance at the expo, he played it. Also, when Spider-Man in Far From Home was using Happy's ship to create a suit of his own, they turn on the radio. He's like, I love Led Zeppelin, but it was AC/DC playing.
Yeah.
And does he not? He actually does wear a shirt with one of the bands, but I honestly can't remember which one it was.
Yeah, so I guess we'd have to give it to...
I think it's like weird.
Shirt.
I feel like ACD is what Tony Stark in the films connects to. But like outside of the film, if you're just thinking of like Iron Man, then it's the Black Sabbath song, if that makes any sense, you know?
Yeah, see, the thing is they have a song called Iron Man, which is such...
I know,
I can't look past that.
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's why in my mind, it's like, I think in the films, like he is connected more to ACDC. Like, so that's why I say ACDC because...
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like his character is more related to ACDC, whereas the idea of Iron Man is connected to Black Sabbath.
Bear, before we go to the live chat, what's your vote?
Honestly, I would kind of have to agree with that. They definitely paired more ACDC with Tony, so I don't even know if you could more of make the argument that Iron Man is Black Sabbath, but Tony Stark is ACDC.
That's exactly what, yeah.
And I feel like that's what everyone over here is saying. ACDC, both are trash. Carol's too stiff like a boar. She couldn't dance. Thank you for your contribution. Yeah, ACDC. Oh, we got a Black Sabbath here. Another Black Sabbath from Gippy, tangentially associated. Gippy, I'm going to call you out. You typed tangentially, and then there was a red underline. Then you're like, oh, let me right click, let me spell it rightly. There's no way that you spelled that word correctly the first time. Iron Man is literally a metalhead.
You're so mean.
ACDC is Tony's favorite band. I think ACDC takes it, but so sorry to all you Black Sabbath fans. Question 11.
He's more of a White Stripe fan.
Why is that a funny joke? I don't get it.
I'm just making fun of him because it's a lousy hair band. It's the
How
type
many-
of music that Peacemaker would listen to.
Oh, here come I'm gearing to get exposed.
How many lyrics from the Rogers musical do you remember? I think I remember the chorus. I can do this all day. What about you, Ashley?
I know a lot.
My money's on Ashley.
I love it, but I hate it as a post-credit scene for the show. But I love the fact that they gave us the full song. Yes, I think it's amazing. I know the song. Yeah. I know
the whole thing, eh?
Not all of it. I know a lot of it.
You do the dance too, don't you?
No,
You
but I
don't
probably
lie.
could.
You got all the moves there.
Explain to the kid.
It's all good.
I love
I'm not
musicals,
laughing. I want to
you
see
know,
it.
I'm a cheesy person, so
Yeah,
know.
I want to see it. I'm not making fun of. I want to see it. I think that's cool.
Ashley, turn that camera on. Let's see it.
No, I'm not turning my camera on.
Reveal how you're a theater kid without actually saying you're a theater kid.
I was
like
a theater kid. I was a stage. I was a stage manager though, but yes, I was a theater kid.
Still counts.
You know, I was a professional one for a time. So yeah.
I blocked that out. I blocked all of those lyrics that I heard, so I have no.
I'm gonna send you a copy of it, okay?
Oh, that's fine. My delete file needs. I got a lot of room in my delete file for it, so don't worry about it.
I'll make sure somehow it gets in your head, Jaded.
Yeah. I don't remember any lyrics from the musical. Sorry.
I do. Enough of them.
Let me hear you sing it. You probably can sing. I can't. I just like let's see. Let's hear Trinity sing for us.
No. I don't remember that many.
We're joined again by Danny. Danny, we were asking, do you remember any of the songs from that musical at the end of Hawkeye?
Hell no.
He knows all the words too.
Yeah,
He don't want nobody to know. Him and his cop buddies, they like when they all like in uniform, like do the dance, like it's their theme song. They're not going out there to protect the city. You know, they can do this all day. Yeah.
Sorry, sister, I can't rock with that.
Oh man, we got question number 13, or rather, wait, question number 12.
Hold on.
Yeah,
You skipping?
go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say when it comes to the musical, I have not watched it enough to have it memorized yet. That won't take much though, because again, former theater kid myself.
Yeah, I saw you raise your hand to Ashley. So would Professor X, Mama Bear, would Professor X compete in the Olympics or the Paralympics? You have to answer.
Well, his ability, makes him automatically for the Paralympics, unless you give him one of those Genosian neck bands that cancels out his powers.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, Paralympics.
I said Paralympics. Should I be saying Special Olympics? I'm talking about the other one. Is it called Paralympics? Is that the right word?
I think
I feel
it's
like
Paralympics.
I think you mean Special Olympics.
I think I mean Special Olympics. I don't know what the hell Paralympics is. I don't know why I said that.
Google it first.
One of them sounds offensive to me. So don't use that one.
Yeah.
Aren't we all special?
Exactly.
Yes, we are all. There, fix the question. So,
I don't
Professor
know.
X.
Hold on. It says the primary difference between the Olympics and Paralympics is that while most of the participants in the Olympics are able-bodied, the participants in the Paralympics are affected by some sort of physical or intellectual disabilities.
I think
Okay,
that they
so
changed it from the Special Olympics. I think they changed
Yeah,
it.
I guess Paralympics is the more politically correct version.
So he would be Paralympics then.
In what sport? What's he going to participate in? He has no skills.
But he has he can just he has the ability to do anything, to make anybody lose. Yes, he can get in people's minds and be like, stop, move slower, and I can beat you. So he doesn't. He needs to be. He doesn't need to be in any type.
Yeah, you don't think that would be noticed, huh? Okay. Right.
I feel like that shouldn't count. I feel like what matters is you're in a chair, and that's the criteria. I don't care how smart you are, what you can do with your brain. You
did not say without his powers. If he
no, that's not
fair. Powers.
Professor X won't even change Magneto's mind to save humanity, but he's going to use his mind powers to cheat in the Olympics.
He could. You never know. He might really want a medal.
I don't really mean to come off as racist or anti-muty, but the Olympics and the Paralympics are for Homo sapiens, not Homo superior.
Yeah, let them have their own Olympics.
That's probably what would happen in a real life world. Where's that comic book? Where's the Olympic X-Men? That'd be a solid annual issue of something just to see.
We know they're watching you.
Yeah.
#plus gang.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming up with a comic right now.
If you guys don't know what he's talking about, if you go to the Behind the Mask documentary on Disney Plus and skip to the 58th minute and 56th second, you will see Chillmonger, none other than myself, talking about Captain Marvel because Plus Gang. Danny, would Professor X compete in the Olympics or the Paralympics?
In the Olympics, he would just use his mind power and fool everybody that he can do whatever he wanted to do.
That's right. That's completely true. That's the answer. He will win the 100-meter dash. He'll just have everyone moving slowly. He'll roll.
He would not.
I just said all of that, and now when Danny says it, it's like, oh my god, that's so true. Your answer there, Danny.
Yeah,
I get it.
Oh, let's see here.
I'm not the
Special
host. I'm a guest just like you, Ashley.
Yeah, but you're
Paralympics.
Danny, you know.
Para.
So Paralympics is for Down syndrome, whereas the Special Olympics. Okay, there is the physical. One is what did he say? One is for physical disabilities, and Special Olympics is for people with Down syndrome and stuff like that. Whereas the Paralympics are those with physical disabilities.
Cool. Good to know. Now we got that set straight. Let me read some of your live chats. Special Olympics is for people. Oh, thank you. Down syndrome. Yeah. Chill made it more offensive accidentally. Oh, a bobsled. I don't see why you couldn't compete in a bobsled race. If your disability is that your issue with your legs. I still get donation requests from the Special Olympics. It's different from the Paralympics. What's going on, Mike Porter? Hi, Skinnity. Oh man.
Is there a female that has one leg and she's like the snowboarding? She uses like a special kind of design leg, and she still competes with the regular athletes.
I don't remember this snowboarder. No,
Give that up.
he could be real.
There's some snowboarder or some one of those extreme sports. She uses a specially designed leg appendage, and she competes with the regular athletes that have two legs. I can't remember the name. I have to look it up, but I'm sure I've seen that somewhere.
Okay. 13, Danny. Was Thor wrong for not warning his mom in Endgame?
Say it again. I didn't understand the question.
Was Thor wrong because he did a little bit of time travel? He got to talk to his mom in Avengers Endgame, but it was the same day that she was gonna die. Should he have told her?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think that he was right because you don't want to mix with time. You don't want to mess with it because things can happen.
Yeah, but mom is a different thing.
She always told him. She did tell him, "Don't tell me." She did. He was going to. And if Mama tells you not to do something, you gotta do what Mama says at the same time, Danny.
Well,
that's a good point.
Okay. Do you agree that Clark should have saved his dad? Because his dad told him don't save him.
That's different. I feel. I mean, because she was already gone, and if he would have, if something would have happened, they would have. Even though they did cause branches in time and different timelines, that would have him knowing all of that would have caused this deliberate this deliberate
her
time
seeing
branch.
him did that anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway.
Yeah, that did too. It did.
So
yeah,
but I don't think he was wrong for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Jaden has a phone call and his mama there.
Yeah.
Question number 4. Go ahead. Was Thor wrong for not warning his mom?
Honestly, I don't think he needed to. Correct me because I'm fairly certain that because she taught Loki all of his tricks, so it's not exactly outside the realm of possibility that mind reading might be one of hers. That's why she said to him, "Don't tell me."
Yep.
She knew.
Because she knew that he was not. I mean, you could really look at him and tell that he's not the same Thor. But she knew, even though he was trying to play it off, she says, I was raised by a witch's boy. She already, I agree. She already knew what was going to happen.
So
just like Dr. Brown knew about the letter.
If you had an opportunity to go back and save your mom, you wouldn't do it.
Danny? I need you to watch something called Flashpoint.
I mean,
I don't care.
yes, I would save her, but I'm just saying,
there are some exceptions to the rules.
But she also said, "Don't save me."
Yeah, that's the thing, though. I don't think Danny's saying, even though she said that, you still tell her.
That is correct. That is your mom. That is my mom.
But this woman she's a woman, someone that's lived for thousands and thousands of years too. So I think that she, recognized that what was more important was the health of her son. So I don't know. I think for the context of the story, he did the right thing.
Okay. Question 14, Ashley. What will Yelena say to Val? We last saw them in the post-credit scene of Black Widow, and now that she's kind of made up with a Hawkeye, with Clint, what does she say next?
I think that she's probably going to press her a little bit, probably pissed. Like, why didn't you give me the full details? Why did you manipulate me? But I think that she's still going to take jobs and still work for her.
You in here, Terrence?
Yes.
Yes. The question is, what is Yelena going to say to Val?
Good question.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's gonna say, "Why did you lie to me?" And she'll probably grab her by the neck and demand an answer.
Mama Bear, what's Val gonna say? What's Yelena gonna tell to Val next time they link up?
I definitely think she's definitely going to press for. You withheld information. We need to have a talk about this.
Mm-hmm. Jaded?
I think she'll walk up to her, punch her in the face, and say, if you ever try to manipulate me like that again, you're dead.
Damn.
Yeah, what's my next job?
Yeah. Like, we'll take job.
So are we doing this Thunderbolts thing or not? Like, that's what she's going to say.
I think if you try to manipulate me, you're screwed.
Second Street Marvel?
Well, I don't know. I'm kind of curious. I mean, do we know that she got that job through Val?
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
That's what the end credit scene indicates.
Okay, I can't remember. It seems like it's been that long ago since I watched them. I'm saying, like, I can't remember. What was the end credit scene?
At Black Widow?
She
was at Natasha's graveyard.
Grave.
Yeah, that's a graveyard, and Val says, I have a job.
Val comes and says, I have a job for you. And she's like, I'm on vacation. And she was like, you can get revenge on the person that killed your sister. Boom.
Yeah. Okay. I thought we were talking about the bonus credit from Hawkeye or something. Like, what do we like? I'm like, did I miss something here? Okay. Yeah.
It hasn't happened yet, but when they do see each other, if she even wants to see her again, what is Yelena gonna say to Valentina De La Fontaine? And
she's definitely at that point going to be questioning what she's doing, what their motives are behind it. It's going to be almost like Cap was with Nick Fury in Winter Soldier. It's going to be one of those kind of things. Like, she's going to be pissed, and she's going to be wondering what's going on. And Val's probably going to be the same way. She's probably going to be the Nick Fury of it.
Right? Who would you add to that American hockey team, the inferior one, men's or women's, to give them a chance against Canada?
About hockey.
I'm just saying, there's a whole lot of characters in the MCU who could get it done on the hockey the rink, but how many of them would really make that much of a difference against a superior foe?
You need the entire Avengers roster. You need the entire Avengers roster.
But I don't know anything. I don't know anything about hockey to really answer that question outside of just saying Hulk.
Well, that's okay. Actually, you know very little about the MCU, but you still answer their question.
I know a lot about the MCU. Excuse you, don't
Hulk is a fugitive. The Secretary of Defense wouldn't allow him to participate in those games, so no, it would not be the Hulk. And he's too heavy. He would crack the ice. That just wouldn't work. So no, we're not accepting that. You guys are losing. Trinity, your choice.
I'll let y'all win anyway.
Totally.
We don't care about hockey.
They'll let us win, Jaded. They'll let us win.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you all keep your hockey. We don't need it.
No, it's not to let us win. They'll have to let us win.
Yeah.
It's not about letting. I'm just saying we don't really care. Yeah.
Yes, you do.
No, I mean, maybe people in like one part of the country really care, but most of us, I know nobody in the South gives a crap about hockey, really.
What? Danny, you're in the South. Is that true?
That is so very true.
Thank you. How about
There's
you?
no ice in the South.
Trinity, you're from the South. Is Kansas the South?
No, that's the Midwest.
Midwest.
It's the Midwest. It's the Heartland.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
They care a bit.
But yeah, I mean, I think the correct answer would be Scott Lang. Scott Lang, Ant-Man. He'd be the one he'd be the one that you could add that might give him a chance. But even when I used to watch hockey, I was a Montreal Canadiens fan.
That's right. See, because he knows.
So unfortunate. That is so
I think hockey's trash.
Mama Bear, they're hopeless, right? There's no Ant-Man, Wasp, or anyone who can give them that gold medal.
For the American team, I'd have to go with one out of Lubbock, Texas, one Fred Dukes. The
What are we
Blob.
talking about?
She's talking about
Blob.
actual player. Oh.
Yeah.
Putting the Blob on goalie. That's their only hope.
Same thing with the Hulk, though. He would crush the ice, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, but nothing's getting through him.
Oh no! If the Blob could stand on a boxing ring, I think he can handle the ice.
See, that's the only way you guys win. Hacks like that. Terrence, are you a hockey guy, Terrence?
No, I am not.
Canada's taking it, right?
I guess so. I guess I'll go with Canada on that one.
That's a good,
Well, considering
smart man.
Considering we'll have Deadpool and Wolverine on our team.
Bro, I was just talking about our regular, normal human beings on our regular teams that are happening right now. That they cannot defeat us. And plus, wait, Ant-Man's got an ankle bracelet, doesn't he? Am I wrong?
Not anymore.
Not
'cause
anymore.
He got
Not
it.
anymore. He got it at the end of Ant-Man 2. He was off.
Hockey and soccer are for children. Canadian men look like an AHL squad out there. Danny, what's up? Shout out to my fellow Southerners, Maine. Ask those Southerners about NASCAR, and the question would be
football is still bigger in the South than NASCAR.
Football is
NFL
soccer in places that matter.
Well, in this country, it's football is the NFL, and the NFL is still bigger in the South.
Really?
Okay, football questions you can field.
I honestly thought NASCAR was bigger. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Who is an actor who 100 is someone talking? 100% isn't leaving the MCU. It's not Tom Holland. I got my doubts, because Miles is on the horizon. I would say an actor who's not leaving is Peter Quill. We'll go Chris freaking.
You sure about that? I don't know.
Jurassic World franchise.
What happened?
I mean, he might stick around, but I wouldn't say he's 100%.
I think he's there till the end. I think that's the Chris who we get to keep, Chris Pratt.
I don't know.
Does he tweet? What? Why? What does he do wrong?
A lot of people don't. I mean, I just don't. I mean, because the Guardians is coming to an end. A lot of people don't like him. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that he. I'm just saying I don't think he's leaving, but I don't think he's 100%. Like if I think of somebody who's 100%, that's like. Do the new characters count, or are we just talking about people that have already been there? Like
you
right
can say
now,
Shang-Chi.
He's not leaving. Pugh, she's not going anywhere right now.
Florence Pugh,
Florence is not going. Yeah, she's not going anywhere. I want to say Elizabeth Olsen, but I don't even believe that.
She's been here so long that character could die and we wouldn't be like, oh, we missed her. She did enough.
Yeah. Winston Duke isn't going anywhere.
What was that? Mama Bear's like, yeah, Winston Duke.
Yeah. They are not getting rid of Winston Duke on my watch.
He's not going anywhere.
Honestly, I would have to say my biggest bets who would not leave would be Sebastian Stan. Just from the amount of fangirls that would completely riot if they took away Bucky.
That's my baby daddy. I love him.
Is he tied up with another franchise? Does he have a TV show commitment? No.
Not at this point.
Just tied up, Pam and Tommy.
Mm-hmm.
I think
hanging out with me. That's about it.
I think
in your
Samuel L. Jackson.
You had to ask.
I think Samuel L. Jackson is somebody who's 100% not leaving, especially after what we've seen in Mando. He's going to be sitting there like, deep fake my shit.
Wait a minute.
It's okay. I'll stay here until I die.
The actor, I'm saying, not the character. So yes, Nick Fury is an old, or Sam Jackson's pretty old. I'm not wishing anything negative, but I'm just saying he's old. So I don't think that this guy's a stable,
I think as long as he wants to be there, he'll be there.
Yes.
Yep. He said so too. He said so.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Ashley's right. Football is definitely bigger in the South, unfortunately. Yeah. College football is the king in the South.
Yep.
Yeah.
You think Thor is a character who we're not going to... Nah, man. Chris Hemsworth, he's like on his second contract right now. Third contract, actually. Because Endgame would have been the ending of his contract.
Yeah.
Now he's really expensive.
What else has he got?
I think that he might be come one of the main staples of whatever moving forward, but I still wouldn't say he's 100%.
Because he's going to do what Robert Downey did, and Robert Downey got way too expensive. So, but what else does Chris
Robert
Hemsworth
Downey
have?
Jr. was I'm out, but he's not doing he's not getting back end deals and all. He's not getting RDJ money. If anybody's going to come close to that, it'll be Benedict. I'm sorry.
Well, Benedict it's still on his first contract. To my understanding,
I'm just saying, if anybody's gonna get that type of money moving forward, it would be Benedict Cumberbatch.
Does he have better opportunities out there than Chris Hemsworth does? Does he have more?
He does, but he's an Oscar-winning actor.
I don't think Hemsworth has much going for him.
Yeah, they don't want to lose Benedict, and he's been kind of I don't know how long I'm going to be here, guys. I
hope that's just negotiations. I hope that's just
he said that in 2016. So you never, and he likes to do a lot of different roles and stuff. So if anybody's going to get that money, it'll be him, just to try to keep him there.
Question to the panel from Neighbor to the North. What beer pairs well with 2,000 left turns?
What?
What beer?
Car?
What are the beers? Corona?
Miller High Life.
Miller?
If you're talking about NASCAR, I would say Miller High Life.
Oh, what? Okay, now I get it. It's a NASCAR joke. Yeah. What beer pairs well with 2,000 left turns?
Kate out with
drink one beer.
Here he comes.
Just, you gave him an inch.
I hope it's Tom Holland leaving.
He's so mean. He's don't. He's trying to troll me. He's trying to troll me.
Yeah.
They're not all leaving. No way.
I'll give Tom Holland his respect now after he got his ass kicked by Norman Osborn and No Way Home.
He should have had his respect.
Hey, who wants to do? Who understands?
I'll give him a little bit.
Who gets this emoji? Who knows what?
Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
I know. Me and Gippy this is our lingo.
Somebody did the math because Chris Hemsworth and Robert Downey had different types of contracts, but Hemsworth actually made a little more than RDJ.
On contract, not on the back end deals. He got
I'm sure RDJ
box office sales. Yeah, box office sales. That's where he made his money, off of that.
From my understanding, Robert Downey made $80 million because it was percentage of what the movie
got. Yes, that's the back end deal. That's what I'm talking about. Maybe per film, and maybe that's what she's, but when it comes to
Pat's Blue Ribbon. Tom Holland is staying. That's what they said. No. Amy Pascal and Kevin both said we were not going to do the whole drama thing again. He will be back, or we will have another Spider-Man. They said something like that. So they just got to negotiate.
But she did say something, and she cut herself off, which I found interesting. It's the next Spider-Man movie just won't be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it might have Miles in it. William Dafoe would be a better Spider-Man than Tom Holland.
No.
Wait, what?
I'm done with you. You're gonna get your Andrew Garfield Sony Spider-Man.
Some random stranger off the street would be a better Spider-Man than Tom Holland. I don't know what.
Oh my gosh, the disrespect.
Well, I tell you what, when he actually establishes some respect, then I can afford to give him disrespect.
Okay,
But he has to actually have
he's a
something.
great act. He's good in the role, and y'all are assholes. I'm gonna say that.
I think
Watch
I think
Uncharted.
the
Watch
You
Uncharted.
can't be mad because of like things that are outside of his control when it comes to Iron Man. Okay.
Yeah,
He's
like
still
skill,
in there.
talent, acting ability.
He
stuff
does
like
have
that.
skill and talent and the physicality. You are like such an angry, bitter man, dude. If it didn't come out,
he's playing Peter Parker in Uncharted. I seen the trailer. He's playing Peter Parker in Uncharted.
No, I
He
saw the
is.
movie.
I'm gonna see it
I saw
tomorrow.
the movie. I saw
If he-
Chaos Walking. I saw Uncharted. I'm sorry, he's not a good
I'm
actor.
telling you, Jaded, if it didn't come out in 1978, he doesn't like it. So, like, you can't listen to Jaded.
No, if it actually has good character, story, and plot, I don't like it. Oh, wait a minute, I'm talking about Spider-Man.
Anything that came out, but anything after 1978, you don't like. I'm sorry. That's when all films cease to be in your mind.
I think the perfect Spider-Man is a blend of all three of them. All three of the Spider-Men we've got is a perfect blend of just like all three of them.
Yeah, as long as you establish as Tom Holland as a tumor and you cut him out.
No. Hold up. Jada.
No.
Fact, right? Peter Parker is a scientist.
Yeah.
He's just a very smart kid.
Yes, but he is a brilliant kid who was able to create the web shooters in his own home with what he has.
Yeah, but that was just plot element by Stan Lee to be able to have it work. That's all. His only scientific.
Which one of the three can spit out the scientific knowledge the best?
Tobey Maguire, because he talks to Dr. Octopus, and he literally breaks down how his machine works in Spider-Man 2. He's literally conversing with an actual acclaimed scientist.
I am a Tobey fan as much as you. I am a Tobey fan as much as you are, but that was what caught my attention with Tom Holland right away in Civil War, was how they were mid-fight and he was spitting out scientific facts, and he has done that all throughout his entire time in the MCU.
And he's in, like, you all can talk about Toby.
Really, Tom Holland knows nothing about science. That's what I really give him credit for.
You noticed that was in a
and
Russo
his physicality,
Brothers film.
he was also a dancer. Oh, really? Because he's talking about the multiverse in Far From Home. So what are you talking about?
Back on track and ask our friend Terrence, who didn't get a chance.
Oh my gosh,
Terrence, who's an actor who
Ashley just likes Tom Holland because he can come right out of a boy band.
I don't. He's like a baby.
He's a cutie. He's so cute. He's just a good bitches.
I like his Peter Parker. Okay, Toby was like a 45-year-old man trying to be a high school kid. He didn't look right.
He's got the Peter Parker thing.
Okay.
Well,
the young Peter down
in comparison,
he's got this
Tom
weird
Holland
geeky thing going on. That's
and
really
in comparison,
not
Tom Holland is playing a Peter Parker who's trying to pretend to be a Spider-Man.
Andrew Garfield, Spider-Man, but his Spider-Man is, probably
see
the
how
best.
Like you guys are
but
still
when
on
you
the
get
Spider-Man thing.
Tom, you get his Peter Parker and his Spider-Man, and together he's a complete character compared to the other two.
I would give
half of a character. Sorry.
I will give Tom Holland's Peter Parker credit, and he is the best. He is the best cosplayer of Spider-Man in all the three Spider-Man movies.
For sure.
Terrence, who's an actor who 100% is not leaving the MCU till it is over and that final movie has aired?
That's a good question because I was going back and forth on that, but I think it's Chris Hemsworth. I think it's Thor, the real Thor, because I don't think that the female Thor is going to go over as well as they hope, especially without the build of the Thor character in Thor Ragnarok. I think that the popularity for the character has gone up, and sometimes humans forget what you can do with something like that from a storytelling perspective, and what we may get with the character in Thor: Love and Thunder. I think he's going to stay, and I think he's going to get better too as a character.
I think he's going to stay there, but I don't think he's 100%, and I don't even think that she's going to make it out of the film. I think hopefully she'll die. That's.
Oh no!
Well, honestly,
right? She has cancer, so.
Yeah.
Honestly, like from my perspective, I wouldn't say that anyone is 100%. I think that for me,
Yeah.
I would say that certain characters in relation to the actors who are playing them are much more likely to stay, but anything could happen in terms of the storytelling that could completely change everything. So it's really a to me a project by project basis outside of whatever the contracts may be.
Because I was going to go with
Wonderful.
Anthony Mackie myself because it looks like they're building him up the most. I mean, he's going from Falcon to being Captain America, so it looks like they're actually
Oh
trying
gosh.
to do something with him long term. So
The
Here
thing
he
with
is.
Chris Hemsworth, before we get side railed by our friend SSJK. Sanctum, who just joined, or he changed the screen name. Peacemaker is greater than all McDonald's. That's what you were gonna say there. I
Yeah,
understand that.
exactly.
That's
Yeah.
the word you were gonna. Yeah, I got it. So, Hemsworth. This is the thing. The movie will end with Jane Foster. Is she dead? Is she not? Sort of like how Icarus went into the sun. We don't know if he's dead. If the movie was a hit, billion-dollar thing, of course he's not dead. He's coming back. But I think like the Jane Foster thing will end with in ambiguity. The next, or Kata, you want to answer this question? Who is an actor who isn't leaving? You guys hear me? Am I? Oh, you heard me. Okay, he's just away. Has Thanos overtaken Joker as a mainstream villain? Danny?
Wait, can you hear me now?
I hear you, yes.
All right, cool. You sure I'm going to answer that question?
Go ahead.
All right, so I was trolling in chat. That's not who I think will honestly lead the MCU. I honestly think the Tom Holland variant that is playing Spider-Man will lead the MCU. That's who I think will lead the MCU.
Danny, the question for you is 17. Has Thanos overtaken Joker as a mainstream villain? Like, when you talk about movie villains, do you go to Thanos before you go to Joker?
Are you talking popularity?
No.
Or like popularity?
Yeah, popularity. Danny's answering, though.
Okay.
No, Joker for right now. Joker is king for it comes to villains. I know some people are getting a little tired of him, but his name is more recognizable. He's done had, in my opinion, 3 top actors play him. That include Mark Hamill, Jack Nicholson, and Heath Ledger. So as good as Thanos was, I don't think he's going to reach that level where Joker's at now. It's gonna be hard to put the Joker down.
That's something I would agree with. I know I would agree with that one, and I'm gonna vote also for the Joker. So that's 2 for Joker. Kata, what was your answer?
Joker, he's still king, but Thanos is like he's not too far behind. But Joker's still king as far as villain goes.
3 for Joker. How about you, Mama Bear? Joker or Thanos?
Joker is the original villain. So
That's
yeah,
4.
there is no replacing him.
I think we might just take this one here. So, Jaded Fanboy, Thanos or Joker?
Thanos served his purpose. He's done. He's no longer necessary. Joker, you can still keep making stories about him. So obviously, Joker is. It's not even a contest. Joker is a mainstream villain. Thanos isn't. Not in the MCU.
Terrence, do humans think that Thanos has overtaken Joker?
I think that some of the more sillier ones would probably think that because of the popularity of the MCU. A lot of times you'll find that humans are blinded by that and they will be biased towards it. Now, for me, I like Thanos. I thought he was great. I think he's one of the best MCU movie villains by far. And I love how they used him. But the Joker has been done by more than 5 actors across 5 decades. So there's no way that you can begin to compare to that. And even when a run or a universe is done, you can still get another actor to play Joker, and more than likely that actor will establish his own fan base. It's just really not a fair comparison. The Joker, for sure, for the win.
And who hasn't gone yet?
I haven't
Me.
gone yet.
But
You don't gotta wait for me to.
second straight. Go for
Go ahead,
it.
either of you.
I don't think Thanos has overtaken Joker at all. I mean, Joker, he's got style, flash, pizzazz, and a little coke money never hurt anybody either.
I think Thanos was a moment, in two films that everybody loved, but Joker is, has more staying power, too. So it's Joker.
Solid. That's right. Thumbs up the stream, everyone. We are halfway in. 18.
I got a hot take.
Yeah.
I like Thanos, but I think if DC does Darkseid right, he's gonna overtake Thanos.
Ooh, wait, how
What
many
did he
movie
say?
appearances will he have?
What did he say?
Huh?
He said
What
that
did you say?
Darkseid.
If they do Darkseid right, and get a good voice like Michael Ironside, which voiced it for years, to do that, I think he will overtake Thanos' popularity.
I mean, unless Thanos comes back, it's just like a moment, That's how I see
Anybody
it.
with
He's not.
any villain with a viable plan could overpower Thanos.
If I may, Chill, to add on to that, I think that while Thanos is cool, and he has his moments in the movies and even in the comic books, more so in the comic books, to be honest, I think that Darkseid is the better character, and what you really need are talented individuals full of passion, and if they can translate him perfectly, we won't talk about Thanos in that way. I think we'll even look at that character differently because Darkseid is that overlooming threat for the Justice League. He's beat the shit out of them many times. He is just one of those very interesting, fascinating, intelligent, dangerous characters.
Joker is still the man. His only motivation is to see the world burn. Mike, you've never been more right. Mainstream, but why are you capitalizing everything, big bro? You got to stop that. Just for that, I'm not going to read anything you just wrote because it's throwing me off. I can't read. He says, yes, mainstream, but me, no, Thanos has not overtaken Joker. Okay. Aglax in the building. I have never thought about this before, but I think the fact that you are asking the question answers it. Ooh, so you're, yeah, Thanos is got. Yeah, it is a legitimate question because I feel like I've heard Thanos in media a lot more often than I used to, of course. But I still don't think it's enough. I think generations know the Joker, and so I'll stick with the Joker. Well, yes. Thanos' brother is in One Direction.
Good point, Gippy. I'll take that.
Does Cap know that the Red Sox broke the curse?
Is he a Red Sox fan?
He would be a New York fan, he's a Yankees fan. You know why he's a Yankees fan? Because he could tell that game was already recorded at the end of Captain America 1. So
right.
Does he know the Red Sox broke the curse? The curse. Go ahead, Danny.
So there was basically a movie named after the Joker that really didn't show anything about the Joker, and it made $1 billion. So I don't think you can name another movie Thanos and it do the same thing.
Facts. Danny, does Cap know that Red Sox broke the curse? I got a lot of sports questions today because I know you're a sports guy.
I know nothing about baseball, so I am not equipped to handle that.
I'll handle this one. You see, the Red Sox curse was not as long as it was in the 40s. He doesn't even know that it's a curse. It probably never came up. If he learned it, it's something he would have just learned like as a matter of fact type thing. Like, oh, what the Red Sox. So
he would have seen the game.
He would have went back on YouTube because the internet is really useful. He had a line like that, didn't he?
Yeah, he could have seen the Red Sox game where they broke the curse, but again, unless you're a Red Sox fan, who cares?
I feel like there's a lot of apathy for this question here. No one really seems to. It's a who cares fest. Mama Bear, does Cap know that the Red Sox broke the curse?
See, I'm trying to remember exactly when they broke the curse.
2004.
So yeah, it still would have been buzz at that point. He probably would have heard about it in passing. But again, New York fan, it really wouldn't have mattered much to him.
No, they would matter. That was the darkest day of New York. They were like, "Who's your daddy?" and insulting Pedro Martinez, and they just had their asses handed to them. I'm gonna say just like what you said. Yes, he heard it in passing, but it's not like he heard the week of or anything like that. Trinity from Second Street Marvel. Does Cap know the Sox broke their curse?
I don't even know. So he probably does. He probably does.
Okay. K Dot.
I do not know what this curse is. So
He doesn't
Taryn?
understand base. He doesn't.
The curse is
understand
it's a 70-year curse that they haven't won even a pennant for 70
he's
years.
only. He's
Because
only
they
4,
sold
guys.
Babe Ruth, they sold.
The curse is you got 8 people on here that don't know shit about baseball. That's curse.
It
And
sounds like it.
To be careful with Baby Dot, he's only 4, so he doesn't understand these things. guys.
wow. So just because I trolled Tom Holland, all right, for sure, Ashley, for sure. I got
Well,
you.
no, it's because you're a DC fanboy. You don't know what real things are. So
Yeah, because
Oh
you're a
my
baby.
God. That narrative, DC fanboy.
This one's for me and Gippy.
I'm a
That's all.
DC fanboy. Okay, sure.
Jimmy's in here. You sully the show when you bring Faded on. You want an invitation to this?
Sullied it.
Next question. You got it, Terrence?
Yeah, I think he probably would have heard it in passing, but I think that Cap would have been way too busy with everything he was dealing with to care about sports.
But he had time for Marvin Gaye. I mean,
He did, and I feel like a lot of that had to do with, this boy,
I
feel-
Sam Wilson.
I
And it
think
was
Sam
Endgame.
Wilson would have told him though too about about the Red Sox possibly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
'Cause
Like,
he
I
was
think
kind
he
of
would have.
like his
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think he would have heard it in passing. For like him to sit around and watch things, I feel like maybe here and there, but not necessarily as much as maybe someone might think he would do.
Since Ned invented Night Monkey to lie for Peter, does he remember that fake hero anymore? We didn't think I was going to come with the fire today, did you? Night Monkey, that little character he made in Europe. Technically, he shouldn't remember anything about Night Monkey because he's the guy who created it. To think of Night Monkeys, to think of Peter Parker at the same time, and he's not supposed to remember. So no, he'll be like, Night Monkey, what the hell is that? He does not remember.
He forgot because he knew it was Peter, so he made the
Boy,
name
you
for
got
him.
a lot of time on your hands.
But he knew Spider-Man was Peter too. Like I think that from everything that I understood is that they can separate. He can maybe know that he was on a trip and Night Monkey was there, but he doesn't remember the fact that he created the name and who the identity of Night Monkey is. So there's the separation.
So
like Night
his
Monkey,
first introduction to Night Monkey was when it was on the news and the reporter said Night Monkey.
Yeah, that's how or when he's like there and he sees him crawling on the walls, he doesn't remember, that he created Night Monkey. But to him, Night Monkey is a thing. But he doesn't know Peter and Night Monkey are one and the same.
I see Trinity nodding his head in agreement. Yep.
Yeah.
Jaded fanboy.
Much.
Well, I already have my issues with the whole forget spell, but in context for this question, I'd have to agree with Ashley because it would be like, he might remember saying, "Oh, isn't that Night Monkey?" But I don't think he would have remembered why he called it Night Monkey. Like it was just Night Monkey. Like that's all he'd remember.
And also, we were forgetting another thing. Night Monkey would be a better Peter Parker than Tom Holland. So
wow,
that's
I'm impressed.
And you know what would be better is if we had a real Wonder Woman and a real Superman at the end of Peacemaker instead of in the shadows. But what am I talking about, right? This isn't
take
about
into consideration. Take into consideration in the first two movies, more people knew who Night Monkey was than they knew who Spider-Man was. Because there were no pictures of Spider-Man. Nobody knew who Spider-Man was.
I don't know what you're talking about. But a big thank you to Mike Porter, who loves these questions. Danny, some people appreciate the time and creativity I put into this. What do you think, Danny? Do you think that he remembers Night Monkey anymore? Danny from Comic Chat. He's away. Mama Bear, how about you?
No, I was saying, I think Ashley.
Go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, you think Ashley what?
I'm just saying Ashley's explanation is good. I'll go with that.
Yeah.
Okay, I do think he does remember about Night Monkey. Again, much like Ashley said. And the point that I will say that proves it is you actually see MJ wearing the necklace that she got from Peter in the same
Yes.
scene. In the end
Yes.
scene.
That means something, doesn't it? It means that
So they still have some lingering recollections. They just won't remember exactly why.
it's an object, though, yeah, but it's not a memory. So it does mean
It still has sentimental value for her, but she doesn't remember why. And it'll be the same with Night Monkey. He'll remember about it, but he won't know exactly where it came from.
Absolutely, I agree.
the Marvel writers don't even know.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think that they do.
Terrence,
It's one of those tricky things because when it comes to magic, there's always a way around it, always. And I think that these characters, while they don't have any specific memories, they have like these little gut feelings, as humans would say, these inklings of something, but they can't draw a connection to what it is. And I think that possibly later, from a storytelling perspective, they might play that up. Like, wait, why am I here at this location? Like, what does it mean? And then we'll see them like kind of confused. But if that happens enough times, that could be a triggering point. So I think that Ned remembers a little bit, but you never know. He might come across a oh shit, and then that's gonna just change so much stuff. So
we've got Chillmonger in the building. We got Mama Bear, the Jaded Fanboy, the Widowed, Second Street Marvel, Danny Graham, and Terrence. And Danny, you laugh at that question, you'll laugh at this question. If Hulk regenerates, okay, why aren't his teeth bright white?
Oh my God!
What? How did you even come up with this?
I have no idea.
Exactly, you have no idea because these are some things that need explaining. I would say gamma. I blame the gamma.
Yeah, sure. I go with that.
Leaves a yellow skew on the teeth there.
That's what happens every time he transforms. Every time.
If the Hulk regenerates,
He's stumped.
Yeah, I was gonna say gamma radiation. It's got to be.
Yeah,
it's right. K-Dot, what do you think? If the Hulk regenerates, K-Dot, why aren't his teeth bright white?
If the Hulk, isn't his teeth always bright white? I never seen them.
Nah, they're very yucky and shit.
Yellowish?
Yeah, they're not. Let me find a page.
Wait, are you talking about comics or movies?
Yeah, we talking the comics or the MCU?
Even in the movie, they're not.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
White, yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
I'm looking at Thor Ragnarok. I'm like, they're not that bad. They're a little greenish.
Yeah, no.
I guess just to match his features and stuff.
It's actually kind of white over there.
That's kind of white there.
Yeah, his teeth aren't that.
He's exactly right though.
His teeth don't look that dirty. Like you go back to Avengers 1, his teeth are kind of like they're a little yellowish, but just brush them and they'll be fine.
He just drinks a lot of coffee because and
I don't know. I'm looking at the images of the Hulk from the MCU movies, and his teeth aren't that bad. They look white enough.
Yeah, he actually has better teeth than crackheads.
You would know.
Gamma rays are bad for your smile.
Well, why when he's David Banner's blood's red, then when he's the Hulk, he's green? Why is that?
My only reason for that is possibly because like Hulk and Banner are separate like individuals. So when Hulk becomes Hulk, the body just like adjusts to what Hulk needs, and for Banner, it's when Banner's in control, it pretty much adjusts to what Banner needs.
You're fuzzy.
Yeah, it's because I brought the camera. I brought the comic book all the way to the camera, so it doesn't know where to focus.
Oh wow!
It's not working.
No, you're still blurry, dude.
Yeah. Slap it.
I'm not
slap
gonna
it a few times.
It's a very expensive camera here. It's a Logitech.
Yeah, I've got that one.
The black one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's why you look so good on your streams, Ashley.
Well, how did you get the idea that he regenerates though?
He heals. Isn't that what he does? What's the
He's
word for
just
it?
kind of like I've never actually seen him bleed, and then I've seen his cuts heal or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like even when Tony Stark was using the Hulkbuster to punch him repeatedly in the face,
Yeah.
there was no bruising on his face at all, even though he spit out a tooth. So him regenerating, I don't even really think is a thing.
Well,
in
he
the
has
MCU.
Technically,
he has super
regenerate,
healing because
just
if you
not
look
limbs.
if you look at the She-Hulk trailer, his arm is like
Yeah.
fixed. That had to be of natural causes. Just like if you go back to the first Incredible Hulk movie, when he's fighting Abomination,
Right.
Abomination takes his little
I think it's
bone and stabs him in the chest, and then he heals after. Like his chest doesn't
Oh,
have that
okay.
hole in
Oh,
it. So
okay.
he
So regeneration in that way. Okay.
I don't
Yeah,
think
he-
his
yeah,
I think
he-
his arm is like I think not completely healed. I think it's just not in the sling, right?
Because white is not the default for Hulk's teeth, just like it's not the default, green isn't for his skin. That's a good one there. I like that answer.
Yeah.
Hulk
I
is the
think that-
heaviest smoker. Yeah, Ashley?
I was just saying, going back to what B-Dot said, I think that like his arm is healed a bit, but I wonder if like in him trying to completely heal his arm, that's going to be like a regression of him, in some way, and it's like no longer like Professor Hulk because he's trying to like cure this. I'm just curious because I don't think it's like I don't. Yeah.
Well, no, because
Question 21.
Ash brings up because real quick, Ash brings up a good point because like when Bruce has complete control over the body in Endgame, like there's no hint of Hulk. There's Hulk in appearance, but no Hulk of like the mind or whatever. I think Bruce found a way to lock away the Hulk so he can take over and run it. And Hulk probably suppressed things like the healing.
Well,
no, he said
in order
he
to
kind of
operate on
worked
his
with
arm, he would have to be human because they're not going to operate or do anything to him while he's a Hulk.
Yeah.
Because his skin, he can't be penetrated and all that stuff. I mean, they couldn't do anything while he was the Hulk, essentially.
Well,
So it's either he's slowly healing because of Hulk, or I mean, that's got to be it. He's slowly healing because of Hulk.
What was you gonna say, Terrence?
Okay, so with the whole teeth thing, to me, his teeth look fine. Like I didn't really think they looked like bad or anything like that. And I have seen him get damaged in the MCU in the first Avengers movie, in the Incredible Hulk, and then he would regenerate. But I think in relation to the stones, that's well beyond his power. When you're using the stones in that way. So I think a lot of humans forget that while the Hulk gets stronger as he fights and he can take a lot of damage, there's certain things that are even beyond him. The stones being an example of that. I think that was a good way that they used that to show us that is something that can damage him and that he can be damaged and sometimes permanently. We may not see him fully heal from the stones. Or if that happens, it'll be a very, very long process in the way that he kind of just quickly recovers from everything else. But I gotta say, my boy Hulk, he has some nice teeth. But if I'm gonna be honest, I usually don't look at his teeth because when the bicep is the bicep is bigger than a building, you tend to be distracted by that, before you look at his teeth.
So you like the biceps, but I was gonna say I agree.
Biceps
Before we,
awesome.
I know that like Chillmonger wants to kill me, but just like on your point there, Terrence, like I agree, but like about like the stones and him not being able to completely heal his arm, but in him trying to cure that, with more gamma radiation, possibly that might be him going back to this regression of there no longer being a Professor Hulk,
An uncooked brisket.
Yeah, that might be. Yeah.
21 guys cast Bob Barker. 98-year-old Bob Barker from Price is Right. The old host of Price is Right. I think he would be perfect in a movie as like one of the, the collector and those ancient, what was the other one? The Grandmaster, them guys. I think he'd be a good one there.
Or just give him like some cameos,
Just a cameo? Okay.
out of all the people to pick, why did you pick Bob Barker though? That's what
You always, every time I do one of these cast blank, you're always like, why that person? I just do it. It's
Oh,
he's
on.
nice.
I was wondering if there was something that actually triggered.
No.
Because he
There's
cares
nothing.
about animals. That's why. It's about spaying and
What
neutering
the
your
hell?
pets.
Spade
That's
and
why.
neuter. That's right. Yeah, that's a caring person. We need this guy to be
Can
in
someone
movies.
pull up a picture of this man? Because I don't
This
have
man
an
is-
image.
You have never
This
seen
man
The
looks
Price
like
is
a-
Right, Terrence?
I don't have an image of him
Here,
in my
I
mind.
have a
Okay.
picture.
Gilmore.
This man looks like a goblin. Cast him as the Green Goblins.
Yo, you're right. He is a kid. Even K-Dot had to Google it. Let me share your screen. Thank you for.
Yeah, he's 4. He don't know.
Let me see.
This is the Green Goblin right here.
Yeah, I've seen that Jimmy.
With cast him as the face of death. Christ.
I know exactly who he could play.
Aww. Who?
Mysterio.
Is there a mummy character that they could introduce?
Mephisto. He'll be perfect as Mephisto.
Mephisto. Nah,
He
Theodore,
could-
you can't. He's
Possibly.
98. You can't just have him for a reoccurring role like that. Between movie production to movie production, he may not be there.
Well, Mephisto might be where I don't think he can turn into different human forms. That could be one of his human forms.
See how she made your answer better? That's because MCU fans are creative, DC nuts.
Wow.
I to me,
that's why Peacemaker is better than all the MCU shows. Just saying.
No, it's not. It's a good show, but like,
Wow,
just like
it's a
pump
good
the
show.
brakes.
Good show, Ashley. It's a good show.
Let's
The only thing that comes close is Falcon and Winter Soldier. Ashley, I'm sorry.
Falcon Winter Soldier, WandaVision, and Loki. Sorry.
WandaVision wishes, but we'll
Actually-
save that for another time.
Peacemaker
Wow,
is a good
that-
show. Okay, it's a good show.
Based off of the Marvel, he could play Silvermane because Silvermane is a Spider-Man supervillain who was an old man, an old mafioso who kind of put on like a RoboCop type armor. So he is an old man, and so I think Bob Barker could play Silvermane.
Yeah.
That would be-
I can see him either being a scroll, like when they go through their transformations. Like I think seeing his
Yes,
face
that's
would be
awesome.
kind of chilling. Or he can play one of the many demons that goes up against Ghost Rider. It could be like a surprise, like you see the old man at night and Ghost Rider is just riding along and he's looking around like, what is that I sense? And then all of a sudden that old man just jumps on his back and tosses him off the bike. I think that would create a kind of jump effect for the audience.
I love the scroll thing
What's
because it
going
could be
on?
like Bob Barker could be
Dracula?
himself. Sorry, and then he could turn into a scroll. Sorry.
Danny, I know you don't need any Googling. You know who Bob Barker is, don't you?
Who?
The guy from Price from Price is Right.
Price is Right.
Remember the guy
Bob-
who? Yeah, remember they did Price is Right on Raw,
Yeah, I
and Jericho
know.
was getting like.
I know Bob Barker. I do.
Here, let's give Danny an updated picture of this ghoul.
he did a guest. He did a
Leave Bob
guest
Barker
spot on-
alone.
He did a guest
Are you,
spot-
it's a 98-year-old man. He doesn't live
His
in
eyebrows,
life.
his eyebrows is faded away.
I hate on this man.
telling you,
He's 98. Man, you gonna
Hey, I'm glad. Hey, shouts out to being 98, but that man, his
Yeah.
eyebrows faded, his hairline receding. Shit.
he's
He's better off
98.
He's better off being in an episode of Night of the Living Dead than
You
the
better
MCU.
you better respect these elderly people.
So the question-
Y'all act like y'all gonna stay young forever.
I know.
That ain't happening. Sorry.
Whoa,
He's
whoa,
4,
Danny,
so he
Danny,
don't understand, Danny. You know, he's a little
Danny,
baby.
we're black. We age gracefully.
Yeah, I'm just
You still
saying.
gonna
They
get
gonna stay
old.
young forever, bro.
Right.
I
that
was 26 when I got married.
Oh, my
I know
condolences.
you want to be. I know you want to be the black Super Saiyan, but I'm sorry that you ate. Okay, Dot. Sorry.
Answer this question now. If you had to cast him in the MCU for any character, comic book wise, or creating a character for no reason, where would you cast Bob Barker in the next movie?
Face
I
of the
don't have a
death.
clue, bro. Some kind of damn zombie shit or something, I guess.
He said a zombie.
Okay, I like that answer.
There would be no rhyme or reason to cast Bob Barker in MCU.
I
In my
like
opinion.
Terrence's scroll idea. Like he could have really just be Bob Barker, and then we find out that he's a scroll. That would be, you know, that would be that's
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, that's why he wants those cats to be neutered because the flirking, you know, the Skrulls weren't very fun. They know what cats can do.
Or maybe
Mama
he
Bear.
could be some ancient damn Eternian or something. Asgardian, rather.
Oh, you could be an Asgardian.
Yeah.
I'll be cool with that.
Mads?
I would just go with the same kind of concept as Stan Lee, where he's just that reoccurring background character that pops up randomly.
Yeah, crazy stupid fun.
Yeah.
The next question.
We missed that. I missed that.
Multiversal Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, that would be, yes.
Hey, chill. Another thing too, man. It could be like because the One Above All only appeared a couple times in Marvel
I was
Comics.
about to say that. Yeah, One Above All.
He could work as that too, because nobody would suspect him. I mean, he doesn't look like anything special in Marvel Comics, so you can
Once
do
we
that.
get Harry Styles showing up as Thanos' brother, it's crazy. Mama Bear, how will the Morbius movie with Jared
Not a
Leto
dang way.
affect the MCU? Not a damn way. That's right.
I don't.
Why?
At this point, I'm not sure if it's even set in the same universe. I thought it was set in the universe with Venom.
Yep.
Well,
So-
that's the confusing marketing about it. It's in like three
It's-
different universes at once.
Yeah, it's like really weird.
I can keep track of this. It's not a big deal.
No, it's like it's strange because like nobody really knows. Look, we're like, now what? There's Adrian Toomes here. You just said you were Venom. It's just
Wait.
Sony doing what Sony does.
Well, this is my
You know, you're confused. You're K-Dots. You're confused over there being two universes. You're a DC fan.
Oh, so he's used to it by now.
No, it's not that it's two universes. Is we don't know what universe it's in.
I'm saying the marketing of the movie because there's a Tobey Maguire Spider-Man poster of Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. Adrian Toomes from the MCU universe is there. Then he says he knows Venom because he does like I'm Venom.
You know, I just gotta mess with you.
It's like, and then there's the in the universe too. Just all over the place.
No, he's in the Andrew Garfield.
Trinity, what's your answer? How will Morbius affect the MCU?
I don't think it's going to. I don't think it's going to at all. Just largely, like the Spider-Man films, really don't affect the MCU at all either. There's a little bit of crossover characters, but largely Spider-Man films don't affect the MCU whatsoever, so I don't expect Morbius to have any real connection to the MCU at all.
No.
Terrence?
Like it's MCU adjacent.
I need to actually watch the film first to know for sure. But if the trailers are any indication, I think that it's very clear that Morbius and anything Spider-Man related is part of the Sonyverse. But because of what they're doing with their multiverse, you will have moments in which you will get character interactions, possibly brief team-ups before they go back to their respective universes.
I do have a quick answer. Kevin Feige already seen the movie.
Breaking up.
He's gonna do what they're gonna do. Can you guys hear me?
It's
You're kind of in and out. You're in and out.
Yeah, you were choppy.
You can still finish your answer unless you're talking now. We just can't hear you.
Okay, switch to the regular internet and get off the ghetto internet.
Oh, I sound now.
There you go. See how that happened?
He was on his phone. Now we just heard him turn on his Yeti. He was chilling in that bunk bed.
I think Morbius can have a great effect on the MCU if they establish one of Spider-Man's most iconic storylines is when Spider-Man had 6 arms by taking the Morbius serum to try and cure himself from the Spider-Man thing. Like, somehow have Morbius interact with Spider-Man. Again, I'm sure most people won't like the idea of a 6-armed Spider-Man, but that was an iconic storyline.
Yeah, it's cool.
From the Spider-Man stories, and it was literally because of Morbius. So I think he can have a good effect if Marvel is willing to risk that story arc.
I agree with Mads though, and I've been saying that I feel like this Tooms really is just a variant. He's not even like the Tooms that we've seen like in the MCU. I think that he's a variant version of him, and I think that all of this universe now is Andrew's world because it makes more sense. Because they just seem. I feel like that these are going to be Andrew's villains, especially Venom, just because the age lineup. Because Eddie Brock and Peter are supposed to be kind of closer in age. And for this version of Eddie Brock to fight the MCU version of Peter Parker, I think is a little odd. So I think it's Andrew Garfield. So I don't think it's going to affect the MCU at all unless there's another multiverse crossover and they come through.
Something like that. But definitely not Blade mixing it up with
I mean, to be fair to what that human said when I mentioned crossovers and possible interactions, without saying that pretty much covered that because that's what that would be.
That human.
Question 23: was Tony buried? Was that human buried after he died?
Was Tony?
Yeah, he'd probably be like, "Yo, listen, my body is gonna be like." Experimented on. We saw what they did to Vision's body. So, Tony is obviously he's not a synthezoid or nothing, but he is someone valuable. And if that brain could be used against him the way Zola was, he would want himself cremated. So no, Tony wasn't buried. What do you say, Danny?
I don't think he was.
Same reasons?
I don't think he's dead. Or he's gonna when I say dead, I think either he's did one or two things. They're going to pull him back whenever, I guess, sales or popularity gets low. He'll come at some miraculous way, maybe in a different multiverse or something. Or we're going to see him as an AI in Iron Hearts if they go that route. And that makes a bit more sense to me. Or maybe he might be an A-Heart in Pepper Potts armor. We don't know. We're going to see him in some shape, form, or fashion, I think, later on down the road. Maybe not the 20 Stark we want, but I've already seen these deep fake clips of Tom Cruise comparing to him on different clips, and it looks pretty good.
Thank you.
So
what do you think, K-Dot? No, go ahead, finish your answer. Sorry, Danny.
I think that we're going to see him in some AI form or something. I don't think that we're going to actually see him being put in the ground or something like that.
So you mean the body was not buried then? It's somewhere.
And knowing Tony, he might be good at some suspended animation. Wait until something happens to technology, just like his dad did. His dad created that new thing on the periodic chart, but he said,
the new element.
The technology, I can't do it now. So who's to say he ain't got his body somewhere on ice, and then once technology catches up with bringing people back, then that's when he have something done. So I don't think Tony Stark's going to be physically buried like a regular human. I do not believe that.
So I was saying cremated so that stuff would never happen, but you're saying that Tony would do that to himself, so he's preserving himself. And then Trinity, you keep reacting. What do you think about this?
Can't hear you, Trinity.
We can't hear you, Trinity.
Oh
no. Trinity.
He's trolling.
Oh yeah.
He's trolling.
I know he's trolling too. I knew he was.
Y'all felt
after a while, yeah.
Unmute Mike.
He knows what he's doing. What?
It says I can't unmute you.
That stupid. I had. Yeah.
We didn't hear any of that.
I know.
You were doing your whole Trinity thing, and we didn't hear any of it.
I was playing charades. You were supposed to guess what.
So we call it.
I was saying, I just wanted to interject and say that it was actually the great Dr. Arnim Zola who invented that new element, not Tony or his father, Howard Stark. Those guys are hacks. But I do greatly believe that Tony Stark is alive and well, that he's not dead. And if he is dead, he'd be cryogenically frozen so he can come back alive later. But I don't think he's dead either. And I think that is because in Endgame, we seen he invented, the time travel, the time space GPS essentially. And Tony Stark does not go use something without test driving it first. And I think he took out an insurance policy and he's not really dead. I think we've seen a variant of Tony.
Yeah, I think he's uploaded his consciousness, but I think that his body is been cremated.
What's going on, Daniel? Thank you for joining. Yeah, get up.
I think he either been buried or put in because some people when they get buried they get put in like those little tomb things. Like they don't get
Mausoleum, yeah.
buried. It's like a little tomb that you can buy. So that probably happened.
Mausoleum.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things. He probably got
Terrence,
put
you
in.
want to go now? The question was Tony buried?
I don't know. I do know that he died. Like what I think might happen. Yeah, like we saw him die in Endgame. So like the odds of him coming back as an AI is there. I mean, he still would be dead as fuck, but yeah, you know, we have him as an AI. But I think that whatever way that he comes back will be limited. But if these newer characters can't carry the load, then they'll start dipping back into the OGs and using more variants and stuff and having them be more of a mainstay. But I think for now, he's dead as fuck. I don't think he was buried necessarily, but we'll see. You never know.
Was that everyone? Okay.
I didn't answer.
What are you waiting for?
I don't think he was buried. I think he had himself stuffed and mounted, and he is the prime. He is the prime thing in the Tony Stark Museum called $9.99 Mondays to Wednesdays. He's the main exhibit of his own Tony Stark Museum. That's what he did. His ego extends beyond death.
24th question. Did Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson discuss Men in Black when they were on set of Thor Ragnarok?
Probably.
Who's Tessa Thompson?
She plays Valkyrie.
Oh, she plays Valkyrie. Okay.
I say yes. Danny said yes. Trinity said yes. Terrence says?
I say yes, because they both had in mind that they were going to ruin that franchise. They're like, hey, we're going to get together and just have fun, and then we'll call it Men in Black, you know. They'll love it. I mean, you know, I feel like that was the discussion, because when you see that movie, there's no effort put into it. No one in their right mind would call that a Men in Black movie. So I think, yes, that's exactly what happened.
Did Men in Black come first? I can't even remember. It was so bad. I don't even remember when it came out. It was after.
Ragnarok.
Yeah,
it came out after Ragnarok.
Yeah.
What do you think, Mama Bear? Did they discuss this while they're on set, which is taboo?
Honestly, they might have that they probably discussed like 1,000 things at this point. That it wouldn't surprise me if they're actually friends.
Yeah, I think that they discussed it, thinking it's going to be so cool.
What was that? You're Australian? It was going to be so cool.
No, that's just me saying cool.
Anybody else?
I've said I was trying to keep it quick.
Neurotilizer? What does that mean?
It's not spelled right.
I think it's
supposed to be neuralizer.
The neuralizer.
They both used the neuralizer, and they forgot that they were ever on there.
They did. They definitely needed one of those.
Who knows what a Fenris wolf is? Because we know what a flurkin is. Good.
Fenris wolf is the thing the Hulk fights in Thor Ragnarok on the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
That thing.
Would you rather have
Fenrir?
it? I think it's Fenrir. It's Fenrir.
I effed up.
But it's all good, you know. I'm just saying it's Fenrir, you know. Whatever.
Not perfect, boy. They'll call you out, bro.
Right? You got to Google the definitions for everything. Shoot.
I think you just misspelled. Yeah, you meant Fenrir, but you just misspelled it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's a Fenris wolf and his name is Fenrir.
Thank you, Trinity, for having my back like that. You're right.
It
was called Fenris. You guys should do your Googles.
Fenrir.
Yeah, it's a Fenris wolf, but he's called the Fenrir. That's the name.
So would you rather have the wolf or would you rather have the cat?
Wolf.
Me and Danny at the same time.
Cat.
I'm allergic to cats, so I couldn't have the flirkin.
Yeah, I'm team flirkin.
That cat's OP. It can probably one shot Thanos and Hulk. And look how long Hulk took to beat up a dog.
Mm-hmm.
I'm keeping
And look
that
how
cat.
fast those tentacles can reach out and get
Yeah.
your enemy. Plus, you can keep that anywhere you want to take it on a spaceship. Then try taking the Fenrir Wolf on a spaceship.
I'm gonna ride him. I'm gonna ride him. I'm allergic to the Flurkin. Cute, but yeah, I couldn't be around it.
Mama Bear, would you rather have that Flurkin or would you rather have the wolf?
Both.
Or would you rather have bugs on your webcam?
know
Terrence.
this one.
I mean, considering that Flurkins aren't actually cats, I don't think I would be sneezing around them. But even still, I feel like a wolf would suit me more, especially with the whole training aspect. Like, I would like to walk around with the wolf, ride it, go to the store with it. Like, I take that thing everywhere. With the Flurkin, I feel like I wouldn't. I just would leave it places. Like, you stay your ass right here, and I'll see you when I get back. I just wouldn't really bond with it in the same way.
Sorry, you guys can always talk when I'm doing something. What is the word for people attracted to their variant self? The way that Loki was feeling his Sylvie counterpart. Is there a word for that? Is that interspecies?
It's a phrase. It's
called
a phrase.
sick.
It's a phrase.
It's called sick. It's inner sick.
They're called keep it in the family individuals. That's what you call them.
Keep it in the family.
You know, Loki wants to keep it in the family, so
Narcissist.
That is what
That works
Mobius called him. That's right. Narcissist. We did it. Trinity, that's 50%.
Egocentric, egotistical could be, some words.
But you're not like, shaming the sick part of it the same way everyone else is. You're just saying that's egotistical. I feel like that, we gotta label these.
But the person is like, that's what he is. Like,
but
if
you're dropping, you're choosing to highlight the like mental thing where he loves himself. But I'm looking at it like, dude, you're effing yourself. Like, you're not shaming him enough.
Well, chill. I mean, I'm not against it. If I found a female version of myself and she's cute, then maybe I might go out with her. If she's ugly, then no.
Egosexual. There it is. Daniel Fisher. Thank you for that.
I like that one. Egosexual.
He's up on his lingo.
He won the internet right there. There's a word.
Any object?
I was gonna say that the variant would be called your soulmate because it's your perfect. It's your opposite perfect. Like it's you, but just the variant of you. So obviously, it would be your soulmate.
I call it playing with yourself.
I call
Now,
it.
then you just get to put up with your own bullshit.
Yeah.
Like your wife does.
Mad's Mama Bear. What would you call it? Why are you still grilling the camera like?
Oh.
Honestly, my first thought was narcissist, but I love egosexual.
Egosexual.
I love that.
Yeah,
right, Terrence. It's an egosexual.
Honestly, I don't really have a word for it. I mean, like with this particular conversation, my friends for many years were like, Terrence, what if you meet the female version of yourself? What would you do? I'm just like, it would all depend on the situation, what's being said, and there's so many things that come into play into that. So I feel like it just depends. Those are the words I would use.
I think you're telling on yourself too.
I would not want to date myself.
I mean, if I'm cute,
I don't.
Version looks cute, I would date myself.
I wouldn't.
Well, hold on a minute. When we're on those,
Actually dating the variant of herself.
Actually, if you're ever looking for a partner, don't you want things in common with that partner?
Yeah, I will have things in common, but I don't want them to have my same personality. Like, I like someone who's different from me. Like, that's
chill.
We're the same. That's boring.
Chill. All I'm saying is that I know humans say opposites attract. I mean, I guess in some cases I really don't buy into that much. But if I were looking for a partner, which I'm not, but if I were, then naturally it would be prudent to, be open to as many things as possible within reason. That's all I'm saying.
Would you
Don't
want
be
her
don't be
name?
so quick to dismiss things based upon
I've
I
been
guess
with
what
someone who
humans
was
like
just like
regularly
me,
do
and
get
it didn't
accepted.
work. So I'm not. For me, I'm not dismissing it. I've dated someone who I was very similar to, and it just didn't work.
No.
So
I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying
I'm just
like
saying, but I know. I'm just saying
yeah,
for me,
yeah, because
it didn't
it's
work.
like I think
That's a
having an
good one,
open
Yellow.
mind.
That's a good point.
I
What?
think having an open mind is important to a lot of things. So that's all I'm saying is that I would at least analyze the situations before I make any sort of decision.
Yeah, I've
Ranma,
seen
like-
Ranma and a half. Yellow
what
said.
But
what happens in Ranma?
In Ranma and a half, it's a male character that every time he gets wet turns into the female version of himself.
Every time he gets wet, like water gets on him. You mean?
Just water. If he gets dunked in water, splashed with a glass of water, literally turns into the female version of himself.
Like Launch almost, sort of.
I,
When she
I just-
sneezes.
I mean, it's just like I said, it's just it's something where it really just depends, man, honestly.
Yeah.
Because it would take a lot for me to even accept someone as my partner. So I'm just letting you know
I feel
that.
you.
Oh, weirdos.
Hey, if
How
you
about
guys
that?
want to hear Ashley talk about stories that she had with past partners, nothing recent, but past partners, go check out Rhea's channel because her, Saggy, freaking, who else was the other one on there? Belle was in there too. Yeah. 27. Who's the better character? Okay. Mary Jane. So that would be the Kristen Dunst one. We got Gwen, the Emma Stone version, or we got Michelle Jones, Zendaya.
I'm not going to answer this
Gwen.
question.
Oh, that's an easy one.
Gwen.
Well, Michelle
Yeah.
Jones is trash, so that's an easy one.
Gwen is the most supportive girlfriend out of three. She has the brightest personality. She's honestly kind of the Mary Jane I wanted Mary Jane to be in. Well,
How is she more supportive than Michelle, though?
this is the problem with Michelle. She's a stalker. That's the problem with. She was literally.
How is she
stalking Peter.
more supportive than Michelle, though? Like, especially in the last film that they just had.
But that's the only kind of film she
Man,
was
you know
supportive.
what?
of.
Michelle was
Spider-Man-
getting
I'm
ready
just
to
saying.
do that
I'm just
at the beginning of that
saying.
movie.
Home is when
And
she-
in this, and I mean, I'm just saying but she was. You can't say that. Emma Stone was only in 2 movies.
Well, Zendaya wasn't even
but
a part of
in-
the first movie.
No,
Well,
but I'm saying, I'm
Zendaya
saying
wasn't-
she was in essentially 2. So that's what I'm saying.
Well,
She
Zendaya was in 3 movies, but for 2 of those movies, she was kind of stalking Spider-Man, which was weird, stalking Peter. And then she's like, I want to be a
No,
girl
he
now.
actually
Kinda
had
weird.
a crush on her, and she had a crush on him, and she was trying to figure out like what he's about, and then she figured out he was Spider-Man. So they both liked each other.
and she admitted to stalking him.
She said, "I watched you." That's not
Which is
stalking.
also stalking in a way, but you know.
No, you want to talk about stalking? That was Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker in his second movie. He was stalking Gwen.
Oh,
That
no,
is
he wasn't.
stalking.
No,
Yes,
he
he was.
wasn't.
That is stalking.
No,
That is-
Andrew slander.
Gwen.
Gwen's the best of
Gwen.
the 3.
Everyone's saying Gwen over here.
And she has
I
the
think
best
it's interesting.
personality. She's the most
have
chill
a
girlfriend out the
pick.
3. She's not boring. She's not too much. She's just cool. She's chill.
Gwen.
Wait, I'm sorry. What was the question, Drew?
Out of those 3 girlfriends that we got to see, so I know that they're not all in the MCU, but
Right.
Mary Jane in that first trilogy where Tobey Maguire was Spider-Man, we
Right.
got Gwen Stacy from the second. Wasn't a trilogy, but no,
Bots in the chat.
Yeah, that duology. Yeah.
the duology, and then Michelle. Which one was a better character? We got stumped and we started talking about who was more supportive, but just better
Okay.
character. Who do you think it is?
I would have to go with Gwen. Like if I had to rank them, I would say Gwen, the real Mary Jane, and then the one in the MCU. You know, that's I think that overall Gwen, like her scenes, her dialogue, the way she was interacting with Spider-Man and Peter, I thought it was really compelling, and the chemistry just leaped off the screen, and it grabbed me, and I didn't want anything to happen to Gwen. With Mary Jane from the Tobey trilogy, I'm like, she kind of annoying and pissing me off. I'm like, if she gets killed by any of the villains, I'm not gonna really shed a tear. You know, it'd be a little sad, mainly because of Spider-Man's reaction. But I was like, And then Zendaya, I'm like, she's pretty, but it was something about her character where I'm like, I don't really buy your chemistry as much. And I'm like, just kind of do away with her, put her in less scenes. But to be fair, I think in No Way Home, she did have some good scenes. I think her best scenes were in No Way Home, but I would say Gwen out of the three.
Okay, next up.
In agreement.
I would say Mary Jane. I think Mary Jane, because you know what? She's not easy. She's not a pushover. She's gonna make Peter work for it. She's still gonna be supportive, just like Gwen is. Gwen's a little bit easier. Michelle, nobody wants none of that, but any of these Zoomers. And I don't know. I think that's if you ask me.
Look at Trinity preaching. She was on Trinity.
I think she sets women back. I think she's just a naggy, freaking worthless woman, and I just can't stand her. Gwen really is.
I'm going to give it to Gwen Stacy also. She was so fun. She was the daughter of freaking Commissioner... the daughter,
Captain Stacy.
Yeah, well,
Captain Stacy.
It's in his name, Stacy. Yeah, so I'm giving it to Emma also, or Gwen Stacy also. Mama Bear.
It's undoubtedly Gwen. I'd go Gwen. Michelle. If I could find somebody else to put in front of Mary Jane, I will.
And we were women.
I don't know how you say.
Yes.
I don't know how you say she's not easy. How many of her boyfriends did she cheat on?
She's
like
disgusting.
all of them.
She never cheated on Peter. So she never cheated on Peter.
She is trash.
She never cheated on Peter.
I mean, she did leave that one human at the wedding altar. Like, I thought that was fucked up, but
Hey, but it wasn't Peter though.
Hey, is that more fucked up than getting into a marriage for years that you're not dedicated to?
No, that's true. I felt bad for him. I was like, he's gonna be a villain in the next movie.
Yeah, she could have told him way before the wedding date that this ain't going. This should not be happening. She waited.
Right, even when she put him on the couch, right when she was kissing him, I'm like, that could have been the moment. Like, look, I have some better dick out there. You're not the one, and she could have left him right then and there, but she did drag it out.
Standing at like literally at the wedding.
Love doesn't have a time limit. Love doesn't have a time limit.
Mary Jane did cheat on Peter with Spider-Man with that upside down kiss.
She was dating Harry.
No, she was dating Harry.
She cheated on Harry. She was dating Harry and she kissed Peter.
That's the end of the film.
That's the first movie, and that's his best friend. That is a stone cold bitch right there.
She even says she loves Toby Spider-Man.
Why are you guys saying it like it's a bad thing? I don't understand.
We're not. We were just saying how good Gwen is, but then you guys came in here.
Mary Jane had a lot of red flags. That's true.
Yeah, she does cheat on a lot of people except for Peter. I'll say that.
Well, we all know why that is.
And he's the one you're rooting for, right?
Yeah, he's Spider-Man. That'll be fun.
She nags him so much too.
The 28th question of 30.
Sorry.
We got me, Mama Bear, Fanboy, Widow, Comic Chat, K-Dot, Second Street Marvel, and Terrence. Which Star Force member was Captain Marvel the happiest to fight when she got to turn on her former team? It was easily Yon-Rog.
Yep.
Honestly, I think it was Gemma Chen's character because she used to always give her that side eye and shit. Gemma Chen's character. Remember she's giving her side eye and being disrespectful to her in the movie?
I can see that.
But she would always used to side at her like, man, what the fuck you on this shit for? Fuck out of here.
But she didn't really fight Yon-Rog though. At the very end, like at the very end, she's like, I'm not gonna fight. She's like, I'm not gonna fight your ass. I'm just sending your ass back.
She was fighting her
him.
Up there in space. She did go like and throw punches at him, didn't she? And he kind of escaped in that pod.
She just one shot.
Was that a deleted scene or?
It's been a while. Since I've seen it.
I could have sworn she fought with all of them up there, including and
I feel like they did fight, but
she fought the minions on the ship.
You remember when he was like but he said good distraction when he got the lunch pail from her. They actually did have a fight there.
They fought there, yeah.
So, but I think they all kind of jumped her, and then they held her captive though.
I'm certain that they fought. But if you're still
Yeah.
choosing
Chillmonger,
Minerva,
what-
that's fine.
What was
I think Young Rog is it.
what was the character you mentioned? I think him, the one that she. To me, it wasn't a fight. Like Trinity was saying at the end of the movie, she basically like one-shotted him. And let's face it, she treated him like a bitch. I was like, I was never worried that Captain Marvel was in any danger at all. So that it was weird to me. But I would say him, because you could tell by the way she treated him that she enjoyed that. Like, look at me, I'm Captain Marvel, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's what I gathered from her from that scene.
Because she felt like the closest to him, like he was training her, teaching her, and all of that. And then when she finds out and lying to her the whole time, then of course, when he was like, "You'll never stand up and fight me like without your powers," and she was like, "Screw you, man! Like I don't have to prove anything. You know."
Because the scene was so short, I found myself adding to the scene because there wasn't enough there. It was too quick. I wish that there would have been stronger emotions and it would have been more compelling. It was just too quick. I think that was a mistake to do that.
And I think that they were kind of like trying not to like hurt him or kill him because they want him to come back too.
Well, you can still do that in a way that you get emotions in a compelling fight, right? Because these heroes, they're not going to kill you unless they have to.
Krees don't really have a lot of emotions. Really.
But from an audience perspective, you can still shoot that in a way that we feel the intensity. But because we knew she was safe, we didn't feel nothing. It was like, man, she'll be fine.
I felt it in a different way, but we got to move. We'll talk about this another time, Terrence.
Next one, just speak.
Yeah, I think it was Young Rog. Probably Young Rog. I mean, what little they did. I mean, they sparred a lot too, so. Let go of some of that sexual tension.
Yeah, I agree with that. Nobody else really made any sense to me.
I don't remember
that movie was so forgettable. I can't even remember who was in Star Wars. So
I love how every Captain Marvel question is like an invitation for everyone to throw shots. Like I can't just ask a question about the movie.
I would like to see her fight Roland. That would have been cool.
Honestly, I am right up there with Big Brell. You know, I saw it once, and I'll tell you what I remember about it. There's a kitty. There's a kitty that I need to own. So that's pretty much it.
29th question. What would you do with 18,000 millions money? That's the Spider-Man's box office.
Money.
That's where it is right now. All that money, Ashley. What are you doing with that?
I would let's see. Well, I would buy $800 million of the Batman tickets and set them ablaze for Nerdman and B-Dot. No, I don't know.
Petty,
to ensure, you know, I would do that probably. And with the other, billion, I'd give a lot of it away and then buy another house and another car. And that's about it. And whatever my kids want, because that's pretty much what I do now.
K-Dot, what would you do with the a lot of money that Spider-Man made? Yes.
I wouldn't give none of it to Tom Holland.
You wouldn't need it. Because the thing is,
I would tell Tom,
that's how much money he made.
Tom Holland, I'll give him the nickels. I'll give him the
that's
nickels
a whole lot of nickels, though.
Don't ever be Spider-Man. I give him one nickel. Like, here, don't be Spider-Man again. Go to an island.
For a nickel? Dang.
$1 billion. I think that's enough to.
And then I'll take that money and buy Batman tickets. I'll take that money and buy more Batman tickets and give all that money to Batman for a while.
That's a bad investment.
I mean, this question is a joke. Of course, it's to insult you DC heads, but there's a lot of real life issues in the world, and I would have never thought of buying tickets for another movie.
Well, okay, so
for me, man, I'm here to finish.
So for me, 1.8 billion is a ridiculous amount of money. I am a simple man in that sense. I don't need a whole lot of money to exist on this terrible planet. However, with 1.8 billion, I would hire individuals to be part of my army because, you know, you need an army to take over the world. And with that kind of money, you know, hire the best kind of talent so I can take this planet over quickly and turn it into Planet Terrence.
You see, he's on his
again,
Mandarin shit. I'm telling you.
I'd make sure that Amazon, Google, Twitter, Meta stayed in court until they were dead broke. That would help a lot. I'd make my own.
But no, like in all honesty, I would buy a farm, do a little animal sanctuary, and save the animals and shit. And I would
you finally get that farm you've been talking about.
Yeah,
that was a good comparison with the Mandarin, but I'm not gonna take a break like how he was doing and play tic-tac-toe. You know what I mean? Like,
you're just gonna be training your soldiers all day long.
I think with that much money, we could actually afford to build the wall and keep Justin Trudeau out of America.
Oh my God! Oh,
sometimes in life. Yep.
Keep those Canadians away from America.
He got us. There's nothing we can say. Look, Jaden's just taking a sip. He's like, yeah, he's right.
Hey, I might want to go to Canada though.
I was just gonna say, what would I do with $1.8 billion? I'd get laid as much as MSK thinks he does.
So you're buying a lot of prostitutes and hookers. Okay.
Oh, I don't need to buy them. They'll just throw themselves at me. I got
Yeah. When you have that much money, they do tend to show up.
Money, you got every woman just throwing themselves at you.
Not every woman.
They're gonna walk around with a suit that says, "I just made 1.8 billion."
All I gotta do is walk around with a shirt saying, "I have 1.8 billion dollars and I'm good. I don't have to."
And they're gonna be like, "Let me see." They're gonna be like, "Let me see." Like anybody can get a shirt. You're gonna have to show these women, something.
Yeah, I'll show my fastest way to get a woman horny, show her your bank account.
Are we done?
There you go.
Are we done? Are we done?
Wow.
Where's that clip?
I would just want to see what's left after getting a house in Toronto. Figure out from there.
Very Norman Osborn of you, Jaded.
Yeah.
The next question here is, what happened to her body? Let me play the clip.
Is that not Thor's mom?
Yes.
Did they go to Valhalla?
The drop. Oh my God.
They went to Valhalla? Is that your answer?
I think that's where they go when they die, right?
Yeah. They're supposed to go to heaven, Valhalla.
I was not expecting that clip. That kind of I felt like I was there as an Asgardian, a tear rolled down my cheek. It's a sad scene.
Think that's
good
a
music.
Movie.
See, right? I forgot about the scene. I thought she was about to fall down with the boat too.
But I feel like Odin did something when he slammed his staff that triggered that.
Her body, her essence went to.
And it turned into
I'm not like
friggin' question.
Because just like how just like how he does, like the same thing happens to him in Thor Ragnarok. Like I feel like they're
he lights it up. Yeah, he gets lighted.
Oh God, yellow.
So it's like they go to Valhalla.
Tear roll down your cheek. No, that one.
Yes, I would love it.
That was good. Very good.
Daniel, this friggin' question.
But is there a Valhalla in it? Because they haven't confirmed it. Like there's a Valhalla in the MCU yet.
Well, we can confirm it right here. I'm with Ashley. Ashley says Valhalla. I say Valhalla.
I think it might be Valhalla, but I don't know if for sure there is a Valhalla.
Well,
yeah. Thor says it. Thor's like,
Thor says it.
He's
like, about the Hulk's victims.
Mm-hmm.
So it to me it looked like more of a convergence of energy. I think maybe it's something where it gets dispersed throughout all the remaining Asgardians in some kind of way. Like it could act also as maybe a coping mechanism. It kind of unites them as a people. it's probably not that fucking complicated, but that's kind of what I was thinking.
We got Danny from Comic Chat who's about to step out. What was your answer to the question? Danny's gone.
No, what was the question? I'm here.
Oh, the question was like, what happened to the body before you go?
I don't know. They're not consistent because didn't Odin just kind of like disappeared whenever?
Yep, but he turned into the lights. He
Yeah,
dissipated.
He turned
I
into
don't
the
know.
same thing.
I don't know why. Well, I'm not sure. I really can't tell you. I don't know why they did that symbolism of her, of the guy, the archer shooting her. I guess that was
Right.
just to show what the Vikings do. Isn't it kind of mix up with the Viking god and all that kind of stuff? Isn't that got some kind of intertwining storyline in it somewhere? Or am I
Somewhere
incorrect?
like that. Yeah,
Yes,
that's
that
what
is the traditional Viking
Yeah.
burial.
Well, yeah,
ritual.
in like North, yeah.
So I guess
in
we were
Norse
just trying to
mythology and
symbolize
just
that
Norse beliefs,
respect.
they do that.
Yeah, the respect to that, and I guess just
Yeah.
a more ceremonial type thing. But I think probably like Odin did, she went back into the Force. So I guess, so to speak. So
Went back into the Force, the Odin Force.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining the
man, this was
stream
awesome,
today.
man. If I didn't have to work call, I would stay, but I got to bounce. Thank y'all, man.
Tell 'em where
All
we-
right, see you, Danny.
Bye,
I'm
Danny.
Danny Graham. Bye, Ashley Terrence. Jaded.
Yep.
See you, Jenny.
Mads. You can
Later.
find me Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesdays night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Chaos Central. We do 3 shows with myself, Anzo, Chris Knight. My show is Chaotic Conversation. We do a lot of the same conversation we're doing now. Tuesdays, you can find us on Chaos List. Don't tell what Anzo may come up with. And on Wednesdays, the Rule of 3, which is basically 3 minutes, 3 topics we all discuss. So thank y'all very much. This is
Peace
awesome.
out.
Where Danny schools
Manga.
Enzo, where
I will
Danny
definitely
schools
be back.
Enzo on a regular basis.
I'm sorry. What he said?
Who cares?
Wait,
He's talking
Danny
over you.
School-
We don't. It doesn't matter what he said. We appreciate you for joining. Take care.
Thank man.
Bye,
Y'all have an awesome
Danny.
stream, man.
All right, Danny.
Bye bye.
Later, Danny.
Question 31. How does Quill know what a black light is? You guys remember the beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy? Remember that? I don't know. You were
Yeah.
abducted as a boy, and I don't think you knew too much unless you were watching those naughty DVDs or
I mean,
tapes.
people use black lights for several things. So I mean, like he can be aware of what a black light is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
Oh.
that's like an Earth like
Okay.
centric thing.
I mean,
that
no,
was
like
black.
on Earth, like he could have known like that they use him in crime scenes. Like he he was like a quiz,
Yeah.
he's like a smart little kid. So like I think that him knowing what a black light is not like
No.
The black light that
necessarily
you're probably
naughty
referring
thing.
to was for the posters, because there were posters back then that were literally one type of picture, but if you put a black light on, you would see the picture that was behind it.
Mhm.
So the
Oh,
Footloose
Oh, this is 80s
posters.
stuff. Oh, so okay,
it was
cool,
80s
cool.
stuff, right? So
I
I'm
didn't know
thinking because you said it would look like a Jason Pollock painting, because that's what the black light posters were.
Oh,
It okay, like we know
Actually, you have to let
what
him
what he was talking about, right? Chill, real quick. I just wanted to answer that question that human had. Yes, I am single. I don't know why he asked that, but I guess he was trying to make a joke because I mentioned the tear thing. But yeah, I caught that. Yeah, I'm single, human. But anyway, when it comes to the Jackson Pollock, I think that Peter Quill, he has a habit of busting nuts all over the place. So he's aware of that, and I think that because he is very good with his humor, he's just like, yeah, let me just kind of see what's up and use the black light. I think he's someone like that will get curious about his own adventures around his various vessels that he's been on. So,
oh
and
wow.
I can see him doing that too. And the rest of the Guardians are just like, man, Quill, you are a nasty, nasty man. Like, I would love for Drax to say something about that too. Like, I think that'd be fucking hilarious.
Would that be fucking hilarious, Trinity? How does Quill know what a black light is?
Yeah, that would be hilarious. But yeah, I mean, I think he left Earth at an old enough age. He kind of had a pretty good grasp on everything. On a lot of things that are going on. Black lights are pretty popular, and I think he's hip to a lot of Earth or Terran culture.
Okay. Yeah, Terran culture. That's right. C-53. How about you, Mama Bear? How does Quill know what a black light is?
I am with Trinity and Jaded on this one. They were actually surprisingly popular back around that point. for multiple reasons, not just for the pervy fanboys. No offense. Plus, he's in
No
space.
comments.
I can see that. I also expect that being in space, that would be a thing out there as well. Though I did like the question in the chat about how does he know what Jackson Pollock is?
Right.
Yeah, Gippy, Miss Gippy, she asked, better yet, how does he know who Jackson Pollock is?
Oh, is that question for me?
No, it's for everybody. No, it's just a rhetorical question.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna say that the other thing is commonplace, they kind of go hand in hand. Last time I checked, so But I mean, you have to always look at it as, because the way that Jada presented it, I feel like that's a more intelligent, mature way to look at it. But in the context of the movie, that's not what they were going for. I mean, let's not play silly here.
But I think that what Jada's saying is probably right on the money, because it's like a very 80s centric stuff. But go ahead, Jada.
Oh no, that's why I said he's not wrong about that. But in the way that they play it up in the movie, that's not what they meant.
Was it for a sexual theme? Was it for a sexual reference?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was definitely sexual reference.
Oh, then if that's the case, then
that is exactly why I said that. They know what they're doing, and they know that their audience is going to pick up on that.
But it makes sense to me now that I've asked this question that it was commonplace around the 80s. So I know why he said black light. Like it is something that he would know.
It is a very intelligent and sneaky way to get in double meanings from that.
What year was it when
content.
he left Earth? I can't remember. What was the year? I have to.
It was in the 80s.
I know. I can't remember if it was.
But I mean, even in that context, like, okay, let's say, I'm not saying Jade is wrong, but let's say he did use a black light to look at the movie posters and see another poster. But in the film, they was using it to refer to how they use it for, like,
bodily fluids.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like, they know what they're doing.
He must have seen something before he left for him to know what that connection is.
Right.
But I mean, I think that the black light. I think. Okay. This is. I don't know why we're having it. Yeah.
32. We got two questions
left.
Humor
and innuendo. That's
Yeah.
Was Thor the right choice for a Phase 1 hero? Knowing everyone they had Ant-Man, they had Black Panther, Captain Marvel, but they decided to go with Iron Man, Hulk, Cap, and Thor. I could defend Iron Man. I can defend Cap. I can defend Hulk. But Thor is probably the weakest in my opinion, and I question whether he was the right choice. I'd have gone with T'Challa.
Yeah. To me, Thor had Thor 1. I love it. Everything like Thor in Phase 1, I actually liked, but I think he was the least interesting in general. Just like to me, and it's not because he was just like I don't think they handled him properly. They didn't handle him that properly. They should just. And they didn't handle him as a god properly. That's all I'll say that much.
Before we get to handling him, was he the right choice?
He wasn't really the god.
I think so.
You think he was enough of a Marvel comic character who?
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Jaden.
It was right to have him in Phase 1. You have to have him there if you're doing the OG Avengers. But
it's not only that. I mean, how can you? You have to have Thor to tie into Loki. Could you imagine having the Avengers?
You're right. You're very right.
Loki,
yeah.
But somehow Thor isn't involved. I mean, it wouldn't make any sense.
In my universe, that Loki wouldn't be the main villain in Avengers 1. So,
I think
so if you took out Loki. So if you took out Loki.
Yeah. I'm just saying, let's just go to the beginning of the drawing boards where, the first 4 characters we'll do are going to be Hulk, Iron Man, and Cap, and Thor. I'm saying, would you have gone with Thor? So, of course, in 2012, an Avengers movie would happen. It just wouldn't be the same Avengers movie we got. I think is he the right choice?
I think so, because you have the man out of time in Cap. You have the Iron Man, who's like this arrogant billionaire who's trying to navigate this new world of being a hero, and then you have this Asgardian who is, you know, from a different world. So I think that he was he was needed in the way that they were building the story in the team. You had
When
someone
I think
from
about it like that, though, we could have expanded to Asgard. Same way we expanded to space. We didn't need to have such differences if like, oh, like they're from
think it was
space, they're from
before.
Earth. And plus, here's another thing: that's 6 white characters in your main movie.
Well,
Mama Bear would agree with me. We need some chocolate in there, don't we?
Well, no, technically it would only be 4 because, again, if you're not talking about the Avengers movie, if you're talking about just 4
main 3.
superheroes, if you're
The question asks, okay, was Thor the right choice for a
Yes.
Phase 1 hero? Meaning
Yes.
they only had a limited amount of heroes to choose from, and they went with these 4 for Phase 1, including Black Widow and Hawkeye.
well, I mean,
Yeah.
Are you talking about there's
But go ahead,
that's
Asher.
really unfair
I was
because
saying,
they
I'm
literally
talking about
got
just the
those
solo
4
movie,
characters-
guys.
I mean, they literally got those 4 characters to actually face Loki. I mean, that was planned ahead of time.
I know.
Yes,
So-
and because I'm asking this question as if we're in year 2008 when we're mapping it out, that shit is irrelevant. Like the 2012 Avengers movie we would have gotten wouldn't have been the one where we fight Loki in New York. That wouldn't have
We're
happened.
talking about a variant timeline.
Yeah, variant timeline, totally variant. So Ashley wants to think of
So
it
not
as
even
four
being faithful to the
movies.
Avengers comic.
I'm
The
ignoring you
three,
because you
the
don't
three
seem to get it.
characters. The 1,
But
2,
Ashley-
3. Those 3
Yeah, 3
characters.
or 4 because
That-
Hulk got a movie, which is
Hulk,
different.
yeah,
Stereo.
the whole, yeah.
Yeah.
So those 4, yes. For me, I
So
mean,
you still think Thor is the right choice, Ashley? That's cool.
absolutely.
Okay, so to me, I
Yeah.
think that Thor is absolutely the right choice because regardless of whatever a human's preference might be in relation to the character, it's like I can't even think of the Avengers and not have Thor there. That's silly to me. Thor has to be there.
I respect that answer. Yeah, he is.
I think
he
could
is-
easily be said for Ant-Man, and that's what my answer was going to be was Hank Pym, Ant-Man, since he was one of the actual founding Avengers in the first place, and it would have led everything kind of in the I mean I think a more sensible direction. We could have actually had Hank Pym who invented Ultron and
Yeah.
so on and so forth. But I think Thor worked out. I think Hank Pym
It worked out.
Ant-Man
Yeah,
would have been the right choice.
yeah. I don't,
Yeah,
I
no,
wanna
I
try to jump
agree
on your
with
answer,
the
but I
Hank
agree with
Pym
worked
thing.
out totally.
And I think that the reason why we didn't necessarily get Hank Pym is because Iron Man kind of like started it off, and he then became like the face, and he was going to be that the scientist, the guy that creates everything. He, so like instead of having 2 guys who are basically opposing each other on the same team, even
Did you
though like
hear it?
Banner
Drama,
is
though.
too. I mean, yeah, it would have been great, but I think that it would have been. I think they might have been too similar in certain ways on the team. In a comic, it reads different than it does when you see things in live action. It can get too
You have more
boring.
options
The
to be able to do
characters
it.
are too similar.
Honestly, Chill, like if I were in charge, Hank Pym would have absolutely have been in the first Avengers movie. I could see how
Replacing Thor. Replacing Thor.
replacing Thor. Oh no. I just
So-
mean I was just thinking in general, like I would have had him as part of the team because even though there are similarities between him and Tony, I think the differences are big enough to where you can write it in a way that the audience would not be confused. Hank Pym
Yeah.
is a lot more humble than Tony is. I feel like in the moments in
Yeah.
which you get the audience conflicting with some of the assholish decisions of Tony,
I
then
think
Hank
Pym's
Pym
kind
would
of an
come in there
asshole
and be
too,
the voice.
though. I mean,
Yeah,
Hank
but
Pym-
not to the degree of
I mean,
Tony.
he
That's
like
what I'm saying.
abuses his wife, and he's done some wild things. So like Hank Pym
Now,
is.
now see,
it's
that's
kinda-
something
that
where
balance,
you can. That's
counterbalance
something you
Tony's
could play
part.
up till you could play that up later on. I just mean like at first when you're introducing them, you need to lay out the strong differences, and then other details in relation to both characters can then be explored in the later films where you go, oh shit, so was he like that here or there? And it creates a larger sense of interest because then you're thinking about, wow, like, so maybe I should be looking at all these characters differently. Maybe the context is not the key, the end all be all to everything. That's how I would have handled it.
I'm sorry to not address what you said, but I think it's hilarious that Gippy said after 1990, comma, all I know was Thor, comma, Hulk. That's crazy. It's because she said comma using that voice to text. It's very funny. Yeah. What's going on, Belle? Hello there. Hello.
Okay, seeing as I was actually called out in this conversation,
Like 30 minutes ago, but you know how it is.
yeah, I'm gonna put my opinion in while I can, because y'all have stopped talking for a second. Actually, Thor was one of my first of the Avengers that I started happily following. So if he wasn't in it, I would have been pissed, because Thor is actually my family background. My family comes from the Vikings.
Oh, okay.
So if
So you're worthy?
Oh, hell yeah. Probably not, actually. But
you're totally
I don't
worthy.
know.
You're worthy. You can, you know what I mean? Asgard, yeah.
Fallen from the grace of the gods you have.
Like I said, that is my background. I grew up everything Viking. I loved it as a kid. So Thor was one of the first ones I gravitated towards. And Thor's what makes the Avengers different from the Justice League. How they're almost kind of a flip on each other, because the Justice League is all gods with one man, where the Avengers is all mortals with one god. And you can't have that without actually having somebody like Thor as being part of the team.
I love Gippy. They have a person of color on the original Avengers team, Hulk. Ha ha ha. But
True,
what
true.
I was asking you, though, what I brought up was like, you like T'Challa over Thor. But if you do want Thor in there, and Thor was the right choice for a Phase 1 hero, Mads, wouldn't you also have the Black Panther in there, and you just maybe kick someone else out, maybe kick out I don't know, Black Widow or something. I don't know.
Honestly, I thought Hawkeye was expendable.
Hawkeye.
He's the one I would have replaced elsewhere. Yes, would I have liked to have seen somebody with maybe a touch more melanin? Absolutely. But they did it how they thought was best, and it worked out.
Ike Perlmutter had a lot to say about that too.
And also, if you look at Thor 1 compared to the other movies in Phase 1, honestly, I think based off, the story, the possibilities, and everything could have done with Thor should have been like the most exciting movie out of Phase 1. Well, not bigger than Avengers, but compared to the other solo hero movies. Like, it should have been the most exciting, the most riveting, and all that stuff. But, like, compared to the others, it's kind of like, man. Well, Captain America and Iron Man had better movies than Thor in his first one. Not saying it was bad, but they were their movies was just more interesting.
Fury.
If they announced that they were going to put the first Thor movie up in IMAX, I would actually pay to go to that, to see that up in 3D again on the big screen, because the Bifrost in 3D was breathtaking.
And did you go to Scotiabank or Yonge and Dundas?
That was the one in the beaches that I went to.
They have an IMAX there too?
They did at the time, yeah.
Huh?
It's a shame what they did to Hawkeye, man. Like they did not develop Clint in the way that they should have, which is why you had so many humans disrespecting him, and then you had so many humans capping when his family got snapped, right? In Avengers, then everyone suddenly cared about the character Captain. But for me, when I heard that they were doing a Marvel Cinematic Universe, I'm like, yo, where's the respect for Clint? Like, I get it, right? Kate Bishop is cool, but I'm like, the fact that you would elevate her before we get to see all the classic stuff with Clint and Natasha, to me, is asshole backwards. I didn't like that they did that.
As we've been sitting here talking and everything, I was kind of thinking, imagine if they would have had Ant-Man in there first, and say, like we're talking, like, even like Terrence was talking about, like, say that's where you see Hank and Tony kind of going at it, their battle of wits as far as the science and everything, and maybe all of that kind of is the Phase 1 that leads up to that first Avengers movie that causes that bigger threat to where maybe Loki shows up and everything, and then bam, that's when Thor shows up for the first time, almost like he did in Wakanda. Bam! All of a sudden, Mjolnir's flying everywhere.
Right.
So we could still have Thor in the first Avengers movie. It was just like kind of debut him there.
Right.
That kind of resolves Terrence and Mama Bear's like wanting for Thor, you know?
Yeah. That would have been great.
Or the world.
I would not have been mad at that, because it's not so much that you left him out as much as it was that you had like a plan for him, right? And to have him show up in epic fashion is completely appropriate for that character. It's like, oh shit, look, everyone's gonna remember that. Yeah. You know, that you had individuals craving the character, and then you have the masses that didn't know. But when he shows up in that moment in an Avengers film, you're gonna remember that. So I do like that scenario.
And Hank's wife named the team. Okay, it's named after Carol Danvers' call sign. Okay.
Oh God, not that.
Not really.
Oh, there's some dislikes coming.
Oh,
Question
God.
33.
Oh my God, the retcon. Oh no.
I hated that. Oh my gosh, that was the worst part of that movie. I had to say that. That was
in that moment I turned into a villain. Shit.
That made me mad. Sorry.
To be fair, in regard to the Thor movies, a big complaint people have with Thanos is there was no build-up or a movie about Thanos. Well, with the Thor movies, a big part of those Thor movies was building up Loki's character to make him a viable villain.
Yeah.
So yes, Thor, I agree with you that Thor may not have been necessary, but story-wise, you literally had 2 movies that built up Loki as a villain that everybody said that Thanos should have had. So I think it would have been fair, because again, I can't disassociate Loki from the Avengers movie, because that was their plan all along. And you had 2 movies building up Loki as a villain that everybody wanted everybody saying Thanos should have done. So I think Thor, for that reason, Thor,
the build up excuse is nothing. Like, you can introduce a new villain in one movie and you can be great.
And I think that we had the hints for Thanos. Like, I mean, yeah,
we did.
The whole film. we saw him in Guardians. We saw him in Guardians. We saw him, in post-credit scenes. So we saw him,
Right. The legendary "I'll do it myself." Like, come on, man.
Every movie with an Infinity Stone was building to that. Well, not Thanos specifically, but his mission.
Yeah,
I don't feel like it was
10 seconds here, 10 seconds there. Whereas with Loki, it wasn't just 10 seconds here, 10 seconds there. It was literally a character reveal.
But it was also a brotherly thing too, because he was also in Thor's movies too. So it was like the first movie he was really the villain. The second movie he's the villain of a family villain inside Thor's second film, and then the third time he's being redeemed. So with Loki.
Can I respond to Gippy here?
Don't tell me to stop.
The 33rd question.
That escalated quickly.
Is it safe to say that Professor X is a stand-up guy?
Oh my God!
Well, he was for a couple of issues. He was for a while.
Yep. The real 33rd question. How or who would you build the MCU around? Terrence, you got Kevin Feige's pen. And this isn't like, alternate universe. I mean, it is today. You got the movies. Chadwick died. You know that you're not recasting. Like, who do you go? Who is your main, and why is it Captain Marvel?
Is that the question?
This is such a loaded question.
You know what? I almost like all the characters equally, so that is a difficult question for me. But you know what? I would actually start with Black Panther and build up the whole Wakandan stuff. Like, I think
recasting. You'd recast.
Well, you said if I'm starting with the MCU, right? Like from scratch.
Oh no, I didn't mean to do starting from scratch. I mean like it's today. Like
it's today.
Yeah, go ahead and starting from now.
And I'm moving forward based off of what's been established.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
like Phase 4 is set in stone, so every movie that we know is coming out. And then, like, what do we do now? Who will be the?
Okay. With that, then I would go with the X-Men and work on their stuff, because I would want to build towards, you know, the X-Men versus the Avengers, and ultimately the situation with the Beyonder when he gathers them all up because he wants to, you know, figure out why things are the way they are in a very savage way. I think that that is a situation that can eclipse what we saw in Infinity War and Endgame.
Which X-Men character is going to be the main one?
What I would want to do is I would want to start with you know, Charles Xavier, Magneto, Cyclops,
One.
Storm.
I'm asking just one.
Oh, just one.
Yeah, who's good? Who's getting the most line? Who gets top billing on the casting? Who gets paid the most? Which X-Men character?
That's a hard one. Shit.
'Cause you can't just say I'm building around the X-Men. I do want.
Right.
That
That's a hard one. You know what?
Yeah.
You know what I would want to do
your
is
money on
probably something
Wolverine.
that a lot of humans won't say. I would say Cyclops, to
Okay.
put some respect on the character's name, because he should you know, be leading the X-Men, you know, aside from Charles, right? So with that, Cyclops. Sorry about the confusion. I was getting something different from your question, but yeah, I would go with Cyclops.
K-Dot, who would you build the MCU around? I'll say this. I'm kidding.
Loaded question for a DC fanboy. I would build it around Black Panther, but that'll be I'll use that as an instrument to destroy the MCU. So that would be my goal. As a DC fanboy, my goal is to destroy it.
So you would say let's have a Black Panther who's not T'Challa.
Yeah, I'll make Peter Parker Black Panther just to piss off everybody.
It worked.
Yeah.
Jaded fanboy.
I would kill the MCU's reputation.
Well, I'm a little biased, so I would take from the Eternals, go the cosmic route, and have the Silver Surfer.
Oh, that's a nice answer. But you would build the whole MCU around him, though? Do you think that's right?
No, but I'm saying is that because again, you're saying follow up with the next phase. Well, the Eternals is kind of introducing the Celestials and the cosmic aspect. And I'm going to go, okay, let's try that as the main focus. We've already done Earth enough. Let's explore the cosmic aspect. Let's explore other planets. Let's explore other aspects of what the MCU has. So the Silver Surfer is a great starting point.
I'd feature him for sure. Have him in the Fantastic Four movie. Have him appear every time we're in space.
Yeah, you can have
I
the
just
Silver Surfer.
wouldn't build around him. I would use a character who's already here to build around. But it's not my turn to answer. Trinity, I want to hear what you have to say about this one.
You know, I think I kind of agree with Terrence. It'd probably be the X-Men, but if not the X-Men, I would say definitely the Fantastic Four. And if it was going to be the Fantastic Four, just definitely get John Watts off of that and get a new director in there. But I would say probably the X-Men more so than anything, because I mean, just the vast amount of characters that they've got. And in that case, you're asking for the single character. I would probably start with Wolverine because he is the cash cow. He's probably the most popular one. And from there, he can kind of reel a lot of the other characters in as well. But then it feels like you're just doing a repeat of the Fox universe as well, essentially, because that's what they did. So, I mean, it'd have to be him or like Charles Xavier or even Magneto. One of those kind of characters, I think.
Okay. When you say Wolverine, I'll ask you, Terrence, and I'll ask Trinity. You mean Hugh Jackman or a recast?
You go first, Trinity. I'll go after you.
Recast, totally. Yeah.
Terrence?
Okay. For me, love Hugh Jackman. I really do. But I will go for a recast. I want to see him with the mask, right? The comic book accurate costume. It would have to be a recast. I'm picturing a younger guy, more suited,
someone that
build-wise.
you could use over and over. You can't just use Hugh Jackman for every movie. He's like fatigued with that character.
Right. That's why I'm going with the. Even though I love Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, I would go with the recast, younger version. Way more accurate than even what Fox did in relation to the Wolverine character. So that's what I go with.
I agree with Gibby.
That's the centerpiece. Okay. And then who would you have, Ashley, as your main? Who do you build
The
around?
man who's about to make another $1.8 billion in the Marvel world.
Even
Doctor
considering
Strange The
Oh, Doctor
man.
Strange. Oh,
The man. I'm telling you, Strange is the man. He's going to lead us into the future. I mean, because we get this crazy world of magic and different universes, and it's Benedict Cumberbatch. So, and I think that the way that he plays the character is amazing, and I think that he should be the face of the MCU going forward.
Ashley, with that respectable answer, quick question. Would you be angry or surprised if by the end of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, if Doctor Strange dies?
No, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be. Actually, I wouldn't be. I would be I would be like, oh, they did that? And I would I would cry. He wouldn't be moving forward, but I don't think he's going to die. If he did die, I would think it would be a ballsy move. But
I mean, I don't want him to die either. I just kind of was throwing that out there for you, Ashley.
I think Wanda would die more if anybody, and I don't even think she's going to. But if
I like the answer Strange because he's there. The Spider-Man answer that Gippy's suggesting, Sony has so much ability
Control.
to you just don't want to. You don't want to even try that one. But I'm not that he would be a schmuck either. He'd be featured fine. But I would build around. I'm looking at Captain Marvel. That's my person I'd build around. I don't care that people are like, oh my god, I'm mad.
I don't think she has enough personality. I think
she was brainwashed in most of her movies. So looking for personality in a film where someone's brainwashed is.
I get it. But I'm saying she still has Kree blood in her, so I don't feel like that she's going to have a lot of it anyway. I think that she's going to be very stoic at times. I think that she's
all
good,
it takes is one movie where she's not stoic.
I think that she's good. I think that she's good, like Strange's number 2, kind of like the Captain America to his Strange, kind of like the two of them. But I don't think that her being the main one, I wouldn't agree with.
If she spends enough time on Earth,
I'm willing to give her, like, I don't hate her character. Like I think that her movie was a little sloppy, and that's not based off of her acting. Really, it was just like a mess of a film.
Okay, Chill. I'll meet you halfway. I'll meet you halfway, Chill. Because like, if the next time we see her as a main character, if she is legitimately a good character, I won't be against that. But if it's like, say, more of the same of what we got in her own movie, then I'm gonna be more so against that. Because as far as I'm concerned, I think she's the character that should only be around when you need a little bit of extra muscle. I don't see her as the main face.
Okay, in the Avengers movie, when everyone teams up, you got her there. I would say she, like, an Avengers level threat. She'd be necessary for that. Like, what do you mean? Like, she'll have her
That's
own
what I'm
movie.
saying. The muscle, right?
She's necessary. Yeah.
So
the muscle.
And again, she's also a great connection to the other races in the universe, in the MCU universe. And if they utilize that,
I hate when people say MCU universe. Do you understand what the U in the MCU is? The universe.
For that though, Thor would be good for that. He's the protector of all the realms.
Thor is such an outsider, though. Does he live on Earth right now? Does he live?
Yep, and he gave up his throne. Ooh, like if I could jump in there, I'd smack him with Mjolnir. I'd be like, man, what you doing, boy?
We don't count that Taika Waititi garbage. We don't count that with Waititi. We're retconning that. I heard the MCU. I heard from some leaker out there that the MCU is going to retcon that Taika Waititi garbage.
I hear you, Trinity, but it's like, even if that's the case, right? I can't put it out of my mind. Like, I like Thor, but some of the decisions he's made, I'm like, Thor, why would you do that? Like, it's just so weird to me.
They retcon that, Yellow.
Well, they can re-retcon because, the only reason it was retconned was so that the movie people could be pleased.
Right.
I want to see.
That was because of Fox, and they couldn't make her his father.
They wouldn't even have to retcon any of that because they haven't done anything with it.
Yeah.
We don't know that even in the WandaVision show that family was even her. We don't know that wasn't her adopted family.
That could be her real mother, even, and like this man, took these children on.
They left.
They could also just forget about it too, right?
I don't think that they're very. Yeah, I feel like because you can have a parent and them not be your blood. So like even if she's the
Right,
biological
right.
mother.
No, I meant that in the comics they retconned it as well.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you meant in the.
Oh no, I not about the MCU. I meant
Sorry.
in the comics they retconned it, so I don't even know what variation they would even.
Oh
use.
shit! Wait, what was that, Chill? Like,
I was gonna f up and zoom in my camera and to show a comic book, but I'll do it like this. Like it says issue 35 up there. Like Captain Marvel addressing Gippy's comment. Captain Marvel comic books are selling pretty fine. Like they if you go to issue 35, you're doing well, not 12 and getting canceled. Ashley,
I'm saying they're doing well enough, but it's not like people have always been like, "Oh, Captain Marvel's great." Like I'm just saying, like I know what she's saying. She's not saying that it's like her issues like failed overall and they're not selling. I think that she's just not a favorite character overall.
yeah, the sales are a little higher because of the MCU stuff.
Yes.
But before that, we all know where them Captain Marvel sales were. So.
Yes, they were very low.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
but I'm not trying to hate on Captain Marvel. Like,
I love how we're not giving any credit to Kelly Thompson for writing a good story, a good Carol Danvers. No, none of that's happening, right? Trinity, Kelly Thompson. No.
Nope.
I don't read Captain Marvel comics. I've tried and I just don't do it.
Like, it's all right. It's all right.
Chill. To be fair, right? I don't think she's like the worst character, none like that. Her movie to me, at first I was excited for it, Chill, because of all the stuff that they showed in the trailer, the young Coulson, Nick Fury, Ronan, and all these things, that I thought they were gonna do, and it just. And Carol was on the bottom. I was like, okay, maybe this is one of those characters where the movie can get me to like her character more. But instead, she's kind of the same. I'm like, kind of whatever on her. And they didn't capitalize on all the stuff that they teased in the trailer. So to me, I felt like, if anything, the sad point was that it was a waste of potential to where it could have been a great movie if it would have been handled properly.
I think it had good elements. I just think
yeah.
I think
There's
that
definitely
it was
some
just a bad
Can we not do it though? The Captain Marvel thing. The question was, who would you build around in the MCU? And I don't know if everyone has gone yet. Did we hear from Mads? Who would you build around?
I'm just gonna say about I have to say this about the Captain Marvel thing. You had a scene with her and Groot in it, and the tree was not the most wooden character. Okay.
I was really gonna let you answer too.
I was trying to say nice things, and she'll cut me off.
I was trying to kick you off, and I maximized you. My bad.
It's okay. That works much better.
I'm gonna punish you by making you full screen and have your say.
I clicked the wrong one. Damn it.
It's okay.
Who would you build around the MCU if you had Kevin Feige's pen?
I know this is going to be a very popular answer. And I will say before I say it, that I picked this one because it's the best way to introduce the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, pretty much any other team, because this one gets around the most, and that's Spider-Man.
Okay.
Yeah, so even with the Sony stuff, you would overlook it and
absolutely.
say Spider-Man.
Absolutely.
So you're going to have to pay a lot of money to Tom Holland to get this done, and then get a unfavorable deal with Sony, because if they're going to do something long term.
Besides, that's also a fast way to get Miles Morales, which is who they've already hinted at in the universe.
Yeah, but they didn't say how old he was. They just said he has got a little nephew. They didn't say he was 5 years old or 13 years old. I don't know. Kelly Thompson's Captain Marvel run.
Keep around for a bit to introduce Fantastic Four. No, keep around for a bit to introduce Fantastic Four, introduce X-Men and some of the other teams that he is already associated with, that Spider-Man is associated with. Kill him off, and then we get Miles Morales.
Damn, kill him off, huh? Ooh.
He's supposed to have 3. Like
in Miles Morales' universe, he takes up the mantle because Peter Parker is dead.
No,
I would never kill the main.
That'd be an interesting thing to do on film, though.
Killing the main one would only be done if Tom Holland is too expensive and nothing can be done about it. They're going to delay that decision for as long as possible. They'll do a Miles movie while Peter is there, and not follow the comic book stuff, because killing Tom Holland Spider-Man would be saying goodbye to $1.8 billion.
Yeah.
World War III would happen. That's what would start it. I'm pretty sure.
I began reading Gippy's comments, but it starts with "I never like Carol Danvers," and I'm like, why the hell would I read the rest? We got.
You know what? I will give Gippy that. For me, the only real point in Carol Danvers is to bring Rogue.
Yeah.
Please have Rogue beat her ass. Please.
I swear to Gingy and all of that up there that if we don't see Rogue at the end of the Marvels, I will be pissed.
She should suck the energy out because something's gonna happen.
I will make Jaded
in
Fanboy
another
look
movie.
like a happy-go-lucky person.
Yeah. We're gonna need to know, like, listen, if a big threat happens, we always wonder, well, where's that hero? Where's that hero? Rogue can solve that problem at the end of Captain Marvel too.
They did Rogue so dirty in the original series. In the original
They barely
set.
did her. They didn't even do her. They just had someone who was there. They called that character Rogue, but she wasn't Southern enough or nothing enough.
Oh,
She was Canadian.
She was not good at all. No.
Yeah, they got a
yeah.
How cool would that fucking scene be though? Just, Captain Marvel in all her glory, and then everybody shocked when fucking Rogue snatches her ass out the sky and takes her powers. Like, that'd be so epic to see that.
Mm-hmm. Is K-Dot still in the building? Well, that concludes.
Really not. He didn't rage when I said Peter Parker should lead the MCU.
Is there anything you want to plug? If anyone wants to plug themselves, talk.
Phrasing.
I'm getting ready to sneeze, so.
Yeah.
Who the hell's this?
Well, you let him in.
Hello?
Guess not the way.
Yo, check us all out. Second Street Marvel's got an awesome channel. The Widow, she is everywhere and nowhere at the same time. You guys check her out and subscribe to her channel for when she does start posting videos. When's that starting, Ashley?
I don't know.
Just
see.
Do it anyways. Terrence.
Chill. I just want to thank you because this is the first time that I've been on your channel. And I've been meaning to have a really good, intelligent discussion with you on essentially anything that you wanted to discuss. Same thing with Second Street Marvel, right? Like, I think this is the first time that we've been on a panel. So I'm always excited to have conversations and, get the different perspectives. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm like finally cool enough to be on a panel with Trinity. I feel, like, yay, here I am.
You guys did a video before.
One of the first YouTubers I ever watched, ladies and gentlemen.
I feel like, didn't I have you on the stream one time?
Yeah.
No, did I? I don't think.
I think we've been on the stream before.
Yeah.
What stream was that?
His stream.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
on your channel.
It's been a while ago. I think
I was in your chat. I don't remember actually being on your channel.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong.
I like this one, Gippy. I'll play it. It says we're all the bomb. Yes, that's passable. Love the panel for real. Oh, thank you guys. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, everyone, for in the thing. And with that, unless someone has the last thing to say, no.
Oh yeah. So. Yeah, but again, thank you, Chill. It's just, K-Dot and Ashley, they forgot about me. We were supposed to have our stream, and it just hurt my heart, Chill. But coming on this stream, I recovered and shit like the Hulk, so I'm good now. So
we're gonna do it. Like, it's just hard,
No.
If y'all need to learn how to make some gringo tacos, I just dropped a video that I clipped from a live stream about a week ago, where
that.
If you need some cooking basics, Tacos 101.
Second Street Marvel. Everyone, let's go to Second Street Marvel channel right now. Raid Second Street Marvel. Yeah, I didn't.
Wait, Chill. If you're ending it now, doesn't that mean you won't hit
3
the 10
hours?
hour mark?
Myrtle is tight.
Chill, I thought we were gonna do a 10-hour stream.
That is not happening here. I'm mad we would go over 3 hours. I love that 2 hour mark where people might actually watch it in the replay, but when we go 3, this is all right. I'm just gonna end. I'm done talking.
Bye.
Like the video. Bye.
Subscribe.